for SJP, and this is the Academic Foxhole, and I just need to pull up Twitch chat to make sure that you can find me. I don't want to later. Let's see, me? Live? No. Me? I can see the chat! Oh my gosh! Wait, let me make sure that there's no volume. Okay, there's no volume. Hi everyone! How are you doing? You can see me! Barantor! Ice Bunny, Jer! Hey everyone! And who else is that? Oh, Barantor's waving. Hi everyone! I'm still working out the chat down here. How's everyone doing? What are you doing? I flipped the horizontal, so now that you can see my She's Back shirt and it won't be backwards. I hope you all are doing well. What is new? What is exciting? What is happening with you all? It is a Saturday. This is the time. Oh, good morning. How are you? It's Energy. I hope you're doing well. You know, we often do that little bit of the show and tell, and my show and tell is, it is Saturday, and I'm on my last pair of underwear, so I have to do laundry later today. That is my show and tell. I don't know if that's exciting show and tell, but for me, I always do laundry when I run out of underwear. That's my sign that it's laundry time. Maybe other people do laundry in more responsible ways that involve, I don't know, doing laundry at other moments in their lives. I don't know, but for me, laundry just means one thing, and that is, hey, PH, how are you? It is good to see you. For me, laundry just means one thing, and that is I've run out of underwear. That's my philosophy on laundry. Ooh. Oh, really? Oh, wait, let me press that button. Hold on. Link. Open. Chat link. Oh, share. Share. Why are you so cool? I can't believe it. Jer, you're so amazing. Also, just, you know, I want that link every time. Maybe I can just keep it there and, oh, it's so good. Jer is such a superstar, and I sort of can't handle it, because, I don't know. Oh, I learned something, by the way. We're gonna just get some of our rewards. It'll be fine. We have some resources, right, that we're gonna just pick up. It's because you're a cucumber. I'm sorry, that really tickled me. Cool as a cucumber, it's good. That's good. That's good. Pickle Rick, only a cucumber. Oh my goodness. I'm very happy to have learned this new thing. So by the way, I was looking around the map when you were gone. By you, I mean plural, when y'all were gone. And it turns out there's a mission, not up here, where is it? Right here, that we didn't do yet. Hey Morty, I'm a pickle. And it's a Varric quest that we just haven't done yet, so I thought we should do it. And this is what we've got. And these are going to be both really long, but here we go. Ruffles, Nightingale, and various agents named after crummy jobs. Thanks for looking into this bullshit mess for me. Based on what you told me, there's only one person I can think of who specifically uses Bronto liquor as an insult, and also can't write worth a damn. Worthy, an acquaintance of mine from Kirkwall. Although, why he do all this, I have no idea. I owe you all drinks, Varric. So, Josephine says we should give this information to the Kirkwall Guard. They'll want to arrest Worthy. And then we have Liliana who says we should capture Worthy ourselves and question him about how he infiltrated Skyhold. And that's the one we're going to do, because my character is particularly, you know, spy assassin-ish-y. So we should do that. I think that would be great. I also believe we have this one here, which is repair the Pont Agur, which I don't think will take an agent. No, so we're going to do that, but we're going to send our people to get more, just more resources. Let's send them to get, what do we have here? We'll gather some herbs, because that's always
Let's
great.
see what we have.
And then, oh, somebody else joined. Hello, person who's joining us today. I'm Trooper SJP. This is the Academic Foxhole. Also, you know, Tahads! How are you? Good morning. And everybody's hanging out. And we're just gathering resources in ways that are, you know, awesome. And then we're going to go off and
Let us begin.
we just sent somebody on a really long mission to help take care of our situation with Varric, and that's great. And I think what we just need to do right now... By the way, I'm flipped horizontally so that you see me... I'm mirrored, and it's a little distracting to me, just a little... oh, well, good afternoon. Oh, it is technically afternoon, isn't it? Interesting. Interesting. I've been tricked. Tricked by the wife. Oh, but is that really a bad thing? I feel like Joanne seems so friendly. And she's got fabric. You know, it seems like it'd be lovely, good times. So we're going to repair this bridge so we can sort of do more Exalted planes. A report from Commander Cullen. Citadel de Corbeau, where Celine's forces are stationed, was cut off from the rest of the Dales when Pont Agur was destroyed. Joanne's is... Oh, or Evening for Ice Bunny. Joanne's is a fabric store, a fabric store chain in the United States where you can buy fabrics, but it's not super, super expensive. So it's, and it's morning for its energy. Ooh, its energy. Are you on the West Coast? Because then it would be morning for you. And then welcome. It is so nice to see you here in the morning. And since it is morning, I drink to you some ginger ale, the drink of the morning, because I don't drink coffee. But it's actually not morning for me. Brief hello, Krellin. How are you doing? It's good to see you here. I hope you're doing, hello. I hope you're doing well. We're going to repair this bridge. Very friendly until I spend 2 hours looking at fleeces. It's like, make me a cloak. Here's gray wool. No, I don't want a robe. And I have no idea what color any of these things are. You know, I need to be a better sewer. I took sewing in high school for a semester, but like that doesn't really make you a good sewer. Do you know what I mean? It makes you know what a bobbin is, but I think I've forgotten. But we don't have the time to do everything we want to do in our lives. Maybe one day I will work it out. That's what I figure. Oh, Drunkly's auto-hosting. Sweet. That is nice. Hey, all the Drunkly babies, the garbage babies, all the awesome people, welcome in for the host. It's very exciting to see you all here. It's nice to have you here. We've got some of the best people hanging out with us right now, chatting all the way, which is, in case you don't know, they're all chatting on my iPad so that I can see what they're saying. And Cher gave me the direction to get it big and large, so that is really amazing. Yay! You do all the hand sewing in your house. My wife can't hand sew at all. That is fair. That is fair. Only here for a bit since I've got to crash Cheryl Stream and then run away to the mountains for board games. Krellin, first off, all three of those things, hanging out with us, crashing Cheryl Stream, and then hanging out in the mountains for board games, that all sounds great. The only one thing I would say, Krellin, it's just watch out. I saw a game where people were playing a game in the mountains. It was Dread, and they all went off to the mountains to play, you know, a game, and it involved Jenga, and then they all died. Well, they didn't all die, but I mean, there were monsters, and they had to escape monsters. So, let's hope that you're going out in the mountains as like an actual mountains with no monsters. Those would be my suggestions. We're going to, oh yes, Pont Agur was destroyed in the Civil War. Owing to the rocky terrain around the citadel, it has no other access points. Forces within could well have been stranded for weeks. So we're going to fix that. We don't play Jenga. Okay, as long as you don't play Jenga, then you'll be fine. Because that's something that I've learned is that Jenga is about danger. Danger and dread. It's never good. When people yell Jenga, it's not good. When you're playing Jenga, demons show up, and then it's not good. This is what I've learned. Married 6 years, and you have the dog every time you go to the fabric store. Actual cloaks, not like Damien's, which was a cape. This is all I'm saying. You're not allowed. I was forced to do householding school, and I can't figure out sewing machine. One of these days, let's see. Point Agur has been repaired, and the citadel is once more accessible by road. Oddly enough, we've seen no sign of activity from the army. Something to investigate further, perhaps? I think we should probably venture forth with our regular party and find out what is happening. I'm so sad about, like, right there, that Iron Bowl thing doesn't look good. It looks bad. It looks super sad. I'm sad for Iron Bowl. I'm sorry, Iron Bowl, that your friends are bad to you. Um, God bless the SCA making historical faction accessible. Oh, SCA, no, the SCA, it's good. I used to do rapier fighting with the SCA, although I just have not had time in so long, and oh, nice. To HUDs, I enjoy your cloak for dog walking in the morning when you're like, you know how it is in the morning when you just feel a little bit like The Walking Dead, and and you're just like, I will put on the cloak and I will walk the dogs. That's awesome. Also, I miss this. I miss the SCA. Maybe sometime. We've just fixed this bridge, which is great. Let's look at our map and see what we've got. So we still have got like little things around here to pick up, which we will do. We've got like a couple little things around there to pick up, which we will also do. Oh, we have something over here. I don't know what it is. Hey, Starletter! Alphabet of the Sun. Uh, I love calling you Alphabet of the Sun. That makes me really happy. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Uh, Oh, the SCA, I feel like The Walking Dead. I look great, but have less and less interesting to say as time goes on. Oh! Oh! Burn. That was a very good burn. That was a good one. I have not... I've never been to Penzic, because I was out on the West Coast for a long time and never made it out. One of these days. So, Ice Bunny, as Tahud says, the SCA is the Society for Creative Anachronism. And it's sort of like a medieval Renaissance reenactment group, but people... So we're going to just go across here and see what happens. We're just going to go across the bridge. That's it. But the people are really into sort of being historically accurate, sort of. It's a little complicated about that. Yeah, yes, right? It's like what Todd says it, right? It's like LARPing history. It's like historical reenactment and LARP. Oh, good. Having coffee? Lovely. One thing that's interesting that's different about, let's say, SCA is different from Renaissance fairs because Renaissance fairs are often for customers, right? Like it's a sort of like a kind of a fair, but it's also about like let's have customers show up and we put on a show for them. And people don't, and like SCA doesn't put on shows for anyone. They just do their LARP. And there's a lot of combat, but there's a lot of space for combat, but also people are really into, like, I mean, if you want to know how fabric was made in the medieval times, talk to SCA people. They're people who will know. People do like amazing research in the SCA to find out what is happening. Yeah. Smithing and baking. This is what I mean. I will tell you. SCA people are... Okay, so I'm going to tell you this thing. There is this book. I recommend it. It's amazing. It's called Feast of Thrones, and it is a cookbook where these two women, they went through the Game of Thrones Song of Ice and Fire books, and every time food was mentioned in the books, they went and found an equivalent medieval recipe. And then they sort of put that recipe in terms that we can understand, right? So, for example, medieval cookbooks didn't have stoves. Yeah. Oh, so nice. Yeah, you got Viking people like the Vikings. Yeah. What was I going to tell you? Oh, right. So, they went and they found the equivalent recipes, and they translated them so we can understand them using modern measurements, and they did the trial and error to sort of figure out what you should be doing for your temperatures. So they did all of that, but when I read it, oh yeah, translating recipes was, like, they had to do a lot of trial and error to figure out, like, okay, how do we take these cookbooks, which were from the medieval time period, and make them make sense, right? So they did a lot of work, and, like, more power to them, I will tell you what. So what was so interesting, though, is that as I was reading it, I thought to myself, okay, hold on. These people have... Everybody's undead. Side note, everybody's undead. So what I thought was, no, cancel. So what I thought was, these people are so detailed, and they know their medieval cookery so well, I bet they're SCA. And also, I was right. They were totally SCA. Not only, like, I mean, one of them was getting her degree in historical gastronomy from Harvard, but the other one was, I mean, yes, they were 100% without a doubt. One of them was, they were SCA. Because if you want people who really know historical gastronomy, I find they're very often in the SCA. Oh, really? There's a British TV show where they had a different era every episode they cooked for? That sounds amazing. Jer, do you know the name of that British TV show? Because that sounds like a thing that I would really like to watch. Because that sounds super fun and really interesting. And I am all for things that are both super fun and also really interesting. So if you can remember the name of that show, please let me know, because that sounds amazing. Let's see. SCA safety and health regs regarding food are funny. Basically, assume what you are eating is poison and you'll have the runs. 90% of the time you're fine. 1% you get historically accurate runs. Well, I mean, this way they can actually do the food, right? Because there's so many... Otherwise, I don't think they'd be allowed, which, you know, is a bummer. But I just want to point out, by the way, we're checking out this camp, and there are a lot of undead people hanging out here. Just like a lot of undead people hanging out. And I don't think that's cool. I think there should be fewer undead people. I need to tell you all something. I need to admit something to you all. And that is, I have never watched The Walking Dead. And I feel like that makes me a bad person. But, I've never watched The Walking Dead. Should I watch The Walking Dead? I mean, I know it has, like, amazing ratings, but then, like, I hear sort of mixed feelings, mixed sort of reviews about it as well. So... Oh, hello, undead person. There are a number of undead people. Undead people just sneaking up on you. Interesting. So... Are we fighting people? Oh, we are fighting people. So... My fave... I should watch some Walking Dead. First episode and then quit. My fave thing I made this year was roasted beef shoulder with honey, ginger, pepper crust. Ooh, that sounds great. Took all day on a spit. Ooh. But as I was baking away, it was totally worth it. Oh, nice. I watched the first season. What are we looking at, people? Are we good? No. It looks like there's still some undead hanging out. There's just a lot of undead here, by the way. I'm not even paying attention to them because, you know, I'm talking to you all. I watched the first season and the opener and the second season and I stopped. Wasn't a big fan. Watched this, like, 2 seasons and I realized it's the same thing every season. I watched the first season, stopped, didn't care if any of the characters lived or died. They were all monster jerks. Okay, so I suppose what I'm hearing from you all is that I should watch season 1 and then see how I feel. Oh, okay, so, by the way, folks, it looks like our monsters are forever spawning. So, we should probably move out of this area as soon as possible. Alright, will do. Oh no, they're still here. This is a move along sort of situation, clearly. Okay, so... I think, I feel like there's this thing behind me that I should probably have gotten, like, because there's clearly some sort of, thing for us, but we will try to move a little bit more swiftly, and hopefully get to whatever that thing is that we should be... Okay, let's just go the other way. Hello, big weapon. Up there. I do like practical effects, which is why I was so enamored of Mad Max Fury Road, which just was beautiful, and the effects were amazing, and I loved it. And if you haven't seen Mad Max Fury Road, you should go see it, because it's really good. Oh, we are going to burn this, apparently. signal fire saying that we've cleared out an area. Okay, not bad. All right. There are a lot of undead people here. You know what I mean? There are like a lot of undead people hanging out, and I worry about that. But it's okay. We will handle it. Post the food show. Ooh, thank you so much. Thank you, Jer, because I really want to find out about this show. I'm so interested in historical cooking, and I mean, I'm not a good cook at all, but I'm really interested in it. Oh, Fury Road is totally beautiful. Do you think I'm going to watch the last episode of The Orville? I read a review of the first episode which talked about sexism and juvenile humor, which is not making me feel very motivated to watch any of The Orville, to be honest. So, I don't know. And I hear there's gender reassignment, but considering that they've done... I've not heard good things about their treatment of sex and gender up till now. I am really concerned about what they're going to do. Like, maybe I'll watch it for academic purposes, but I'm not excited. That is a thing that I'm concerned about. I will just say that I am concerned because I've not heard good things. Yeah, was it? Right. I mean, like I mean, there are things that I watch that I'm sure are going to be really problematic, and then they are. But I watch them for academic purposes because I often need to know what kind of gross things people are saying, so I can be like, hey. Now, this sometimes makes me very sad because then I have to read all these comments that are gross and terrible and that make me sad. But you'd have to know what people are saying. Really? Is it really? Well, that's something. I just think that McFarlane thinks he's... Like, McFarlane reminds me a little bit of Joss Whedon in that they both think they are... what do we do with this here? What do you think? So, like, there's a thing here, I suppose, no? Alright. That they think they're more progressive than they are, and then when people are like, actually, maybe you're not as progressive as you think they are, then they get super gross real fast. So, yeah. So what? I don't know about all that. The episode isn't all that gross. Well, that's something. So, I suppose I will see if there's some sort of online means of watching it and check it out. Although, probably not this week, because I have to give a talk on next Thursday. Oh, I actually think that people thought that he was. I think that Orville's a genuine homage to Star Trek and better than a lot of recent Star Trek, but I'm not allowed to have an opinion on the social stances. You are allowed to have opinions. No one doesn't allow you to have opinions, Krellin. You can have opinions on whatever you want. And your opinion is that you think it is better than a lot of current Star Trek. And that is an opinion you can have. Like, of course, certainly you can have an opinion. That's fine. I mean, everyone can have an opinion. No. Certainly, yeah, you can have an opinion. Well, it depends. There are certain things that you can share. There are certain things that I don't share, because that will not lead to a productive discussion. There are a lot of things that I don't share because they will not lead to a productive discussion. There are all sorts of things I don't say because I don't want to upset you personally, Krellin. So it's all about sort of trying to be polite in mixed company. So that's what I would say, right? It's about trying to be polite. Like, I'm not going to say things. There are like a bunch of things that I just never ever say. I want to cancel that. That I just don't say because I don't want to upset you. And it's because I'm, you know, because you're a person that I value. So there are just things that I'm not going to say. And because they're not going to be productive discussions. And so then, and vice versa. That's all. It's about trying to be respectful to people in this space. And of course, I would say there are certain opinions that you certainly can share, but the question is it going to be a productive thing? Let's not get myself burned by fire. Is it going to be upsetting? And there are things that I know will upset you, so I just don't say them. And those are not opinions that I share. Because I want us to have like a place where we can sort of like, you know, that is friendly for as many people as possible. And there's some things we can be like, what do we think about this? Should we debate about it? And then the conversation is productive and useful, and then there are some things that are not productive and useful. I have a ton of critiques of stuff our friends make, but I don't post them because I want to be supportive, and I don't know if my one opinion is useful or even slightly correct. No, you know, it's not even, I think that censorship is a pretty strong word. I think of it as being polite. I think of it as being polite and sort of being aware of multiple people in the space. Like, I think it's about having good manners, basically, right? I mean, I think it's about having good manners. Oh, okay. Hi. I don't know who you are, but you seem to... Hi. I don't want to hang out with you. You're bad. Oh, we took care of that. That wasn't bad at all. Gang, that wasn't bad at all. Yeah, so no, I don't think about it as censorship at all. I just think about it as being polite and caring about, oh, this is the Citadel, and it doesn't look good, everybody. It looks bad. I don't know what else is going on here, but it looks like there's some bad things going on. That's what I'm gonna say about that. Ooh. Alright. Yeah. And also, I mean, it's fine. Right, it's part of what being around other people is about, I think. It's about, what do you think this is? Like, there's things happening. I feel like there's something really bad here going on in this location that I'm a little worried about. The Raven. This mysterious hooded figure in Citadel du Corbeau was nicknamed the Raven after the second Exalted March. The human forces, unfamiliar with elven iconography, saw the shadow the statue cast upon the courtyard and imagined the dark wings spread over the keep. Some years later, scholars of elven history hypothesize that the elves may have intended this sculpture as a representation of Dirt Ha Men, the elven god of secrets. Ooh. Where is the statue that we are talking about? Oh, there it is. What is that that's going on? Oh, Barantor, hey, how are you? No, we are fine. It was, I was just sort of talking about, how I think that there are some things, you know, this is actually really interesting. I'm going to tell you a side story. A friend of mine posted a post on Facebook, sort of vague booking a little bit, you know? And the post was, you know, is there any job where you can just share your feelings? She's a professor. Is there any job where you can share your feelings and not, you know, just share all of your feelings? And also, I have a question, Iron Bull, what are you doing? Oh, vague booking is when you say something on Facebook, but you're not really clear. Like a vague book would be something like, oh, something really exciting happened to me today, but I can't tell you what. That would be vague booking. Or, gosh, that person is just so frustrating. You know what I mean? But they don't tell you who that person is or what they did that was frustrating. So vague booking is, and people usually vague book because they can't say something in that environment. Like, it's not, like they might, ooh, ouch. They might get in trouble, or they don't want somebody to know. Yes, I'm so fed up with some of the people in my life is perfect vague booking. So anyway, ouch, oof. So anyway, she was saying that, you know, she wishes she could just, you know, is there any job where you can just share your feelings? And just share all your feelings. And I just sort of thought about this a lot, and I thought, probably not, because it's not appropriate. Oh! Go mod to HUDs, have a good time. Have a good time. Well, I mean, I think that sometimes it's being passive-aggressive. I think sometimes it's not being a passive-aggressive, but it's about wanting to say something but not feeling like you can. But also sometimes, for example, I've seen people vague book in ways that were positive. Well, about positive things, right? For example, like, oh, I've got some really good news. I'm really excited about it, but I can't say anything until after I sign the contract, right? So maybe they got a job offer, but they don't want to say anything until after. What's going on?
They're all trapped inside.
Okay, we have people trapped inside. We're going to have to go and save them. Because that's what we're due. Because we're heroes. Anyway, I want to get back to this idea of sharing your feelings all the time. So, also... oh, yes! Yes! To HUDs, who are you modding for? Because today's a Saturday, so we can totally raid. I mean, I have to do laundry, but we can still raid, and that'll be fine. And I'll be happy to do so. And that'll be great. To HUDs, who are you modding for, if you're still here? I want to know, so we can jump over there and say hi. Oh, great! Yes. So when we're done, we'll go and if it's still going, we'll jump over to Cheryl. That'll be great. So I was thinking of this idea of like just sharing all of your feelings, and like we're both teachers. Like I don't share my feelings with my students because that's not what they're there for. I mean, I might share sort of like quasi-feelings or like a feeling about here or this, but like if I have a really bad day in a faculty meeting, why am I going to tell my students about that? Like, that is just not even appropriate. Like, boundaries. Do you know what I mean? That's just not... I just feel like the idea that you share all of your feelings with everybody all the time in all instances, I don't operate that way. No, right? You don't share all your feelings with a single person, and this idea that you want a job where you can just do that, like, I just don't think that's appropriate. I think there are lots of jobs where sharing your feelings, depending on what they are... This looks really bad, by the way, and it's also clearly damaging people, so, you know, side note. Yeah, so I just don't... Ooh. I just don't think it's always appropriate. And I think that sort of knowing when something is not appropriate to say is not censorship. It's just knowing what is and what isn't appropriate. And in my experience... Why am I burning? Professors that want to share everything all the time often don't understand boundaries. Right? Like, you don't need to share everything with your students all the time. That's not appropriate. Let me take this, sorry. Oh, it's a question about sort of sharing. Yeah, so I just feel like there's a time and a place for a lot of things, and some things are not the time and the place. Right? Like, so I don't share with you all the details of my work life. Do you know what I mean? Like, we don't sit and talk about my work all the time. Like, we talk about vague things, but like certain details, like, I don't tell you about, there's this one problem student who did this thing, and, like, it was the worst. And I don't tell you about, like, oh, and then this thing happened with our colleague, and then this happened, and whatever. Like, because that's just not appropriate. That would not be... that would not be an appropriate thing for me to share. And so it's not censorship. I don't think it's censorship. I just think it's about having appropriate boundaries for things. And I get a little, just get a little nervous sometimes when some of my not really. We're almost too honest with each other, but we aren't like a sitcom married couple. Loves Tyler because she's also my best friend. Aw, Barator, that's nice. There are sites boards that are for that now, and honestly, they are what I call superior, equal, and subordinate. Certain things shouldn't and aren't shared. Yeah. So what you're saying is you aren't a gossiper, basically. Also, I want that Barantora. Happy that you have it. Yeah. Yeah, I suppose what I'm saying is not a gossiper. I suppose that's fair. But I think it's also more like there's a time and a place. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's just a time and a place for a lot of different things. And there's some things that I would share with one person that I wouldn't share with other people. And it's not that I don't trust that other person. It's just that that's not appropriate. And I suppose that's the, like, you don't tell your students issues with your colleagues. Like, you and your students are not best friends. And that's just not appropriate. That's just not appropriate. And so when this person I know was like, I just wish that I could share all my feelings, I was like, oh. At work, at my job. I was like, I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that at all. Oh, hi, undead people. Yeah. Yeah, so basically, I just don't think, I think there's a difference between censorship and, having boundaries, or also being polite. Like, I just think those things are different. And there's sometimes when something is censorship, but there's also sometimes when you're like, oh, well, this is just not the place for that. Or this is not appropriate. Also, what is going on in this place right now? I mean, we've got all sorts of stuff happening. Have we even been here? No, I think maybe we haven't been here. Let's back up. What is happening? What is going on? I don't even know what's going on here. We need to look at our map. Yes. No, but see, I agree with you. I agree with you, Barantor. But my colleague's specific comment on Facebook was, like, are there any jobs where you can just be totally honest about all of your feelings? And I was like, oh, no, because that's not appropriate. Like, I mean, like, death is happening. Right, and so that's just, I mean, for me, I don't think I've ever been in a job where I thought it was appropriate just to tell people all sorts of things that maybe are not things that I should, like, yeah. So there's clearly some creepy thing going on in here that is problematic, and I don't know, we need to figure out the mystery, but I don't know where all the information will be. See, and okay, I said that one of the jobs where you can maybe share all of your feelings all the time was maybe reality show celebrity, where they've put you on the reality show because all you do is just talk smack in ridiculous ways. That might be an option. Writer maybe comedian. Comedians might, but see, the thing is, I think even comedians won't be able to, right? I mean, this is the thing. I think that we would imagine, oh, comedians can share all their feelings, but I don't think they can because their job is to be funny. And if they're feeling sad at some moment, people don't want to see that, right? I mean, right? If you go to the comedy club and your comedian is like, let me tell you how sad I am, and it's not funny, people are not going to be happy with that. They're going to be like, what the heck? That wasn't funny. So I think comedians, even comedians don't get to just say whatever they're feeling. And of course, reality shows are totally scripted and fake. Like, that is a thing about them. Like, they are also... So what do you think this terrible thing is that's just causing fire? And I suppose we have to go up there. I think it's probably up there, whatever that is. So I think we have to make our way up there to find out what that is. So we have to hit this landmark, and then we hit up the Crit Witch. Crit Witch, you just subscribed. Oh my gosh! Hold on. Come on, everybody. I said, let's play a game. I bet you I can make a rhyme out of anybody's name. The first letter of the name, we treat it like it wasn't there. And then a B or an F or an M will appear. And then I say bow at a B, then I say the name, then banana, fan, and foe. And then I say the name again with an F, very plain, then a fee, fi, and a mo. And then I say the name again with an M this time, and there isn't any name that I can't rhyme. Crit Witch, bow, bit witch, banana, fana, fo, fit witch, fee, fi, mo, mid witch. Crit Witch. Woo! Thank you so much for the subscription, Crit Witch. That was amazing, and I'm so excited to sing you your name game. And I hope you liked it because it was from me to you. Woo! I couldn't hear it because I'm on the PS4 and I don't have the Streamlabs up, so I couldn't hear the song. But I know it. I know the song in my heart, and I hope you enjoyed it. Resub hype. You don't want to do that during real talk. Ooh, almost tongue-tied me, Crit Witch, but I got it. I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to be very precise about the Crit Witch, bow, bit witch to make sure I get it right, and I did. So I was very happy to get it and not get it wrongly because Crit Witch could be a tricky one, but we did it. So. All is good. Alles gut. Alles Gutes. But it's also like super amusing to me. So there we go. Let's hey friends. Let's see if we can get where we need to go, eh? Which is to find. I suppose we have to be in here. This is what I think where we're headed. Oh, no. Oh, no worries, Crit Witch. It is good to see everybody here. Hello, Undead. How are you? I just killed you all, Matt. Did you see that? Did you see all of my killing of the Undead? This is about high level. Oh, look, that one looks a bit more hardcore. So that's, exciting. It's alright. We will kill all the undead. I suppose if you're an animal person, you could sort of, say an animal handler maybe? Yeah, I mean, I just think generally speaking, and not in a bad way, there's just like propriety. Citadel du Corbeau. The large fortress known as the Citadel du Corbeau was claimed after the Second Exalted March. Originally an elven keep, the Orlesians who seized it never discovered its true name, although they did find the magical wards the elves set in place. Mages of the Orlesian Circle spent years studying their defenses, but the occupiers never fully understood them. Oh, sounds to me like maybe some ancient elven defenses have been made active again, and are causing trouble, perhaps? That could be what is happening here. That is a possibility. Oh, gang. I'm feeling pretty good about this Saturday right now, is what I would say. Feeling pretty good about it. I mean, I have to do laundry. I don't know where you all are at. I don't know where you're all at laundry, but I have to do laundry. But I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I think it's going to be a good Saturday. Also, I don't have any news yet about whether or not my talk on Thursday will be streamed. I will let you know. I will put it in the Discord when I find out about it, although I don't know at the moment. Let's push this. I don't know what it does, but let's do it. Oh, yeah, no, Barontor. It is laundry time. It is laundry time. Oh, Barontor, I had a question for you. You have 2 children, right? You have a son and a daughter, is that right? What did we just do? I think we opened a big gate. And I'm sure that is fine. Oh, and didn't you just say that you got, D&D for your 11-year-old son? So didn't you say that? No, maybe you didn't. Maybe I'm confusing you with, Liam O'Brien. I mean, you two are very similar. In that you're both famous, I think it is a scene from Conan the Barbarian, and that you're both famous voice actors. That may not be completely accurate. Can't say. We're going in here, folks. Just, oh, look, there's a gate guard.
There? Don't come any closer. We have swords.
Not the welcome I was expecting.
Cassandra?
We are the Inquisition, and this is the Herald of Andraste.
The Herald of Andraste.
Yep.
Maker's breath. Forgive me. I should have known.
How would you have known who I was? But what if you are, Barantor? How old are your kids, by the way? Because I know that they're playing. How old are they? And also, you're playing GURPS with them this weekend,
Commander
maybe?
Jihan, in service of Her Imperial Majesty. Long may she reign. My men inform me that the Citadel's defenses are deactivated. I cannot thank you enough.
Sure. Also, I need to tell you some things. What things do I need to tell you? I need to tell you that the war is over.
The civil war is over. Gaspard de Chalon has been defeated. Celine's throne is safe.
It's over? That grasping brute is gone? Thank the Maker. So much has happened and we didn't even know.
Need more volume.
Have we been out of contact for so long?
Yes. Also, I have your soldier's ring.
I found one of your soldiers at the eastern ramparts. She wanted you to have this.
Fabienne's ring. She is gone then. I prayed that she yet lived. Thank you. I will make sure this gets to her family.
Daughter 14, son 11, prime gaming ages. GURPS tomorrow, going to try out that Dungeon Fantasy box set adventure. They normally play 5e D&D with me, so I converted those characters over. Wife plays 2. I always confuse him with Trinket, because Barantor. Oh! Ba-dum-bum! I like that PH. 11 and 14 are such good ages for D&Ding. And I love that you've got a good D&D crew with your wife and your 2 kids. That's amazing. Well, RPG crew.
There were orders. A chance for peace, they said. Pull back, they said. So we did. Then the undead appeared. We couldn't hold them back. I told my men to activate the fort's defenses. A foolish move, born of desperation. There was so much about the old elven magic we never knew. We couldn't control it. We retreated, but not everyone made it through the gates. I couldn't save them.
I'm sorry.
We've been trapped for weeks. Supplies were incoming, but who knows what happened to them.
By the way,
I must take my leave.
Good day, Inquisitor.
Don't activate ancient elven magical defenses that you don't even know what they do. I realize you are desperate, but it's not a good choice. Bad idea. That is all. Alright, so it looks like we have maybe done everything there, but I don't think we're done with this. Maybe we are. Are we? It says find the something. What do we have here? Your wife is dubious of the role under system. You know, it's really, that is such an interesting thing that you mention, because, hold on, let me look. I think do you think that we're just done with that? It's Dalish. Oh, I'm sure it's fine, but maybe not for non-Dalish people. Just a possibility. Let's see if we can go out this way. I don't know if, actually, I don't know if we can at all. That's a question that I have that I do not know the answer to. We will just explore and see if we can get outside of this area. I mean, I don't know. So about roll under systems, I know people who are into roll, who are introduced to roll high systems are often very skeptical of roll under systems. They're like, what is that? But I will tell you something that I love about roll under systems. Roll under systems resist inflation. And by that I mean, I remember playing Rifts, and that's a roll high system. And there are target numbers, right? So what's your target number? The target number to pick this lock is 15. But then as you level up, then the target number just keeps getting higher and higher and higher. You just have to keep rolling higher, higher, and higher until it starts breaking my suspension of disbelief a little bit. And I was playing a game of Rifts, and we were all told to make characters, and we all did. And exactly, lower and lower is less possible. Like, there's a point where you can't get lower and lower. I think we can make it outside of this castle, and I want to try. Or maybe we can't get outside of this castle and they won't let us. That is also perhaps possible. So we were playing Rifts, and we all made these starting characters, mind you. Yeah. So we were making starting characters, and we're all on the same equality footing. And myself and a buddy of mine both made humans, like highly skilled humans. I made a human who was a... Ooh, ouch. It's fine. I just fall off of things and get trapped. It's okay. Old D&D. Oh, so my character was like a little bit like Hexy. Like, my character was a sort of a fashion model, actor, celebrity, and was sort of like a face character, basically. And a friend of mine made a sort of a James Bond sort of spy type character. And we were there because it was Rifts, with a bunch of characters who were cyborgs and werewolves and other supernatural creatures. And they could hit, and then we were put in a mission that was basically surprise aliens. So we were going after aliens. So my character was basically pointless because there was no facing to do when all you were doing is sort of like a bug hunt. So that was a little awkward. But because the other characters were able to generate such insanely high numbers, because they were supernatural, our GM raised all the target numbers so it would be a challenge for them. So to hit anyone with a gun was not your average number of 10, let's say, but you needed a 30 rather than a 10. And we were incapable of getting 30s because we were not supernatural creatures. And we shouldn't have had to have gotten 30s to be able to do, what's the word? Average things. But in order to challenge the supernatural people, we, like, the target numbers just were raised. So I became super not enamored of roll high systems because of the ways in which that it encourages a kind of inflation for balance, when I just don't think... Hey, there's another bridge over there. Aww. I bet we can't even go there, but I'm curious. I want to go there. I bet we can't go there. Yeah, so I find that roll low can discourage that kind of inflation, which I think is good. And the answer, of course, is... And this is a philosophical thing for a moment. We can sort of ponder this game in terms of game mechanics. But first off, I think that was a GM error, that one should not have... there should have been a bit more character creation guidance. And once you see that you have such disparate characters, something should have been done about that, so that that was not the case. Also, if you plan to do a bug hunt, and a player makes a face, and the face is not going to at all be useful for that particular adventure, you should tell them. If I would have known we were going to do a bug hunt, I would have not made a face. Right? And that would not have even been a problem. I would have said, fine, I will not make a face, I'll do something different. But I also think, no. Yeah, also I think, so this is like a by the way, I want to just get out of here, I think. I think we're done with this zone, and I just want to get out of here. So it's about, what I wanted to say, it was about badassness and averageness. I'll make a face at you. Yes, I mean, like, hey, monsters, making a face at you. So, this is what I was thinking. If a alright, so, and this happens sometimes, it's when, in, like, forums where people want GM advice, and they'll say, hey, I have this character that's like hyper optimized to be an insanely good fighter, and he's like 5 times as good a fighter as all the rest of the group. How can I basically make it so that he fails at fighting? And, well, yeah, if people like big numbers, right? I mean, the thing is, you can have epic moments and roll low. It's just that if people equate epicness with big numbers, right? They're like, oh, I made it by 40. Woo! Right? But then all of a sudden, you need to make it by 40 in order to just be average, and then it's no longer epic. Do you know what I mean? Like, that if the standard now becomes 40, then it actually isn't epic anymore. Then it's, right? The average is recalibrated, so then it's no longer epic. Anyway, my point is, what I was going to say was that, so one thing, that if we know that an average roll is a 10, let's say, and an average door takes a 10 to unlock it, yes, that's what I was going to say. What Paladin Hunk said right there is that you don't make the fighter fail at fighting. You confirm with things that he isn't good with in addition to the fighting, right? That if you make a character that is super, like, that's what it does, is it just fights, that is the whole point of the character. You don't, like, in a way that is out of proportion with other things, you don't take that away from them. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what they're telling you, that's what they're interested in. And they want to be crazy badass at fighting, and so you let them be crazy badass at fighting. I mean, that's what they want to do, so you let them do it. But you don't get to be, in a lot of systems, you don't get to be crazy badass at fighting if you are, and be crazy badass at everything else. That's right. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So, right, if we know that unlocking an average door is a 10, like you need to roll a 10 on your d20, and you now have a plus 20 in lockpicking because you're such a badass rogue, you don't make the lock to get into an average, you don't change the difficulty of average locks to be 30 so that it's now a challenge for your rogue, because an average lock isn't a 30, it's a 10. Yep. Exactly. I totally agree with you, Jared, but the problem is that a lot of GMs, they get nervous about it, and so they decide that what they have to do is make that average lock now a 30, because otherwise it's not a challenge. And they basically, you know what I mean? Like, they basically, hold on. We're here, but there's something that we're looking for. There is, what is this? Oh, this is a fast point travel. Let's do that then. Let's go there. Wait, I probably shouldn't have gone there. I think that was dumb, because I actually think that there were things we could have picked up right over here that we forgot about. But that's alright. It's okay. We'll just work it out.
Coming closer.
it's okay. We want to head. Where do we want to head? We want to head north and east, maybe. That's where I think we want to go. Um, uh, and I think that when you become, let's say we're talking D&D language, right? When you become a high level character, it's okay for that to be apparent, right? It's okay. Like if you, as a high level character, want to go into an average village and pick all the locks, that should be completely trivial. That should be trivial. And I think it's okay for it to be trivial because you're that good. And of course, but again, wait, sorry, I need to qualify what I'm saying. I'm coming from, like, the statement that I'm making is coming as a simulationist GM, where I think that everything should stay average, and players should have the agency of going where they want to go. So if the players want to hang out in average places when they're above average, I'm not going to stop them from doing so. Now, other people would say, well, that's not narratively exciting, so that you should sort of it depends, PH.
This land looked back when the elves had it.
If the task is trivial, do I have them still roll? That depends. It depends on the game system, and it depends on the situation. Sometimes players want to roll, right? Sometimes they want to roll on super trivial tasks, and if they want to roll, like, that's fine. Sometimes we'll roll just to see if it's a critical success, perhaps, or a critical failure. But other than that, like, it's going to be fine. Because maybe if it's a critical success, they get to show off how badass they are even more. And in a system like GURPS, where your critical success chance expands with how good you are, like, if you make your roll by 10, it's going to be a critical success. So if you are insanely talented at something and it's trivial, your chances, like, most likely what's going to happen is you're going to get a critical success. I mean, maybe you won't, but that is very, very, very likely to happen. And sometimes players want to have the chance to get that critical success. And, you know, that's cool for me. I think a lot of people... see, but I would say that a lot of people would say that that's actually not good for a narrative. Right, they would say that you don't do boring things that are pointless in a narrative. I want to be over here. And how do I get over here? Alright, I'm going back here. No. No. Going back here. And I'm going to see if we can make our way north.
Of waiting around.
Yeah, I mean, like, and the thing is, sometimes, PH, I will also just say that because that's the case. And so, or sometimes I'll ask you, I will say, do you want to roll for this? Because people, you know, people have feelings. Look, we need to find a way to get where we want to go. And there's got to be a way to do it, and it was not the way we walked. So let's see, let's try this way. But, like, in a true narrative, we did that, we didn't like it. In a true narrative space, you wouldn't have them do boring things because that's not good narrative, right? That's not good for story. And very often when I read or listen to narrativist GM tips, what you get is you don't do boring things. If it's not actually serving the plot and the narrative, you just don't do it because that's not even a thing. I love that, Jer. That is so good. Right, because some people want a challenge and it to be constant in the game to stay at an even kill for the duration of their character. Exactly. And that's what Dungeons & Dragons is built for, right? Dungeons & Dragons has a challenge rating system where you will always be at an even challenge no matter what it is you do. And why do you hate waiting to die? Maybe you should not do that. Maybe you should leave so that you're not waiting to die. I feel like we've... Gang, I want to get over here. What is the best way to get over there? people. Um, I found that very few players that start with one type of game really want to play another style as their own character story progresses. Like a group that want dungeon runs for the entire character life has to find more and more difficult dungeons that progress, and then become demigod-like in powers almost. We've been here last Saturday, but you can keep it fresh if they go like no, I mean like that's a whole right. That's the Dungeon Dragons. Yeah, we were here last Saturday, but the question is, I want to get here, right? This is where I want to go, and it looks like there should be a way to get there from here, like right there. It looks like we should be able to move through there, but we've not been able to do so. So how do we get... I feel like this seems like we clearly can't get there from here, right? Because this wall is blocking us. And, but it looks like we should be able to get there from here. Right, like, and that's the gamist model, right? In the gamist model, everything is always balanced. And, right, you're always going to be having challenges that match your skill level, always. Whether or not it makes sense or not, right? Like, we're going to kill some villagers, and they all happen to be retired adventurers, and so it's a skill challenge for you. The thing is, it doesn't look like it, actually. Oh, is it? Hey, Ella is thick, how are you? So the question is, how do we get to this exciting dragon space? That's what I want to know. Because the map, that part of the map is tantalizing me. It is calling me forward. It is, what's the word? It is tempting me. I just want to go there. Oh, it's a war table operation. Oh, because we just did 2 war table operations, but that, also welcome in, Ella's thick. I will check, because war table operations are always a thing. So let's see. Actually, you know what? I don't have to go up here. I can just go to the map. What do we have? So, oh, let's go to the dead note. Toggle waypoint. We were there already. Well, I don't know if we actually have a war table operation for it, but we can check. Because look at this. They keep you separated from this entire zone in all of these different ways, right? They just don't let you go there. Let's travel. Also, welcome in, Elastic. There are a few games that take a character from adventure to something that isn't, but I found those games take very specific type of character. Well, no, see, I'm actually talking about how you move through the world, right? So if you're doing a gamist game, which D&D is very much, in many ways, is very much a gamist game. It's about having fair challenges, and those challenges will always be matched to you, whether or not it narratively makes any sense. So if you're like, I'm going to do a dungeon, and it's going to be a narrativist dungeon, although gamist dungeon, although there was some old school D&D did not do this. I wonder if I can just do this. No, I cannot just do that. Dang it. Go to that camp. Which one? This one here? Where we're at right now? I have unlocked it already. Go to that camp. This one here? Fort Rebasan? Or... which camp? This... oh, Fence Camp. Alright, let's go there. That's what I think Ella wanted. So this, I think you mean... yes, this camp. This is what I'm thinking you mean, right? And from here, we can travel this way. Go straight. We will go straight. Let's see. Traveling through a bunch of exciting ruins. Alright, so in a gamist way, you go through dungeons, and the dungeons will always be... Wait, maybe? Will always be tooled to your level, right? All the challenges will be balanced to you. So you will go through that dungeon, and everything will be sort of set to your level at all times. That would be like the gamest way of doing it, because, and then you win or you don't win, but it's always a fair fight. In a simulationist dungeon, if you want to head, you can think about the old school dungeon where you've got a dungeon with multiple levels, 1 through 9. Oh, wow. Way to not respect your activities, PH. That's rude. I think we're going the right way. Ella, thank you. We are... I hope we don't die in here. That would be rude. So, like, in a simulationist dungeon, if you're just going to do a dungeon in a simulationist way... Ooh, let's read this. Gilanain, mother of the Hala. They say Gilanain was one of the people in the days before Arlathan, and the chosen of Andruil, the huntress. She was very beautiful, with hair of snowy white, and as graceful as a gazelle. She kept always to Andruil's ways, and Andruil favoured her above all others. One day, while hunting in the forest, Gilanain came across a hunter she did not know. At his feet lay a hawk, shot through the heart by an arrow. Gilanain was filled with rage, for the hawk, along with the hare, is an animal which much beloved of Andruil. Gilanain demanded that the hunter make an offering to Andruil, in exchange for taking the life of one of her creatures. The hunter refused, and Gilanain called upon the goddess to curse him, so that he could never again hunt and kill a living creature. Gilanain's curse took hold, and the hunter found that he was unable to hunt. His prey would dart out of sight, and his arrows would fly astray. His friends and family began to mock him for his impotence. For what use is a hunter who cannot hunt? Ashamed, the hunter swore he would find Gilanain and repay her for what she had done to him. He found Gilanain while she was out on a hunt with her sisters, and lured her away from them with lies and false words. He told Gilanain that he had learned his lesson and begged her to come with him so she could teach him to make a proper offering to Andruil. Moved by his plea, Gilanain followed the hunter, and when they were away from all of her sisters, the hunter turned on Gilanain. He blinded her first, then bound her as one would bind a kill fresh from the hunt. But because he was cursed, the hunter could not kill her. Instead, he left her for dead in the forest. And Gilanain prayed to the gods for help. She prayed to Elgar'nan for vengeance, to Mother Mythal to protect her, but above all, she prayed to Andruil. Andruil sent her hares to Gilanain, and they chewed through the ropes that bound her. But Gilanain was still wounded and blind, and she could not find her way home. So Andruil turned her into a beautiful white deer, the first Hala. And Gilanain found her way back to her sisters, and led them to the hunter who was brought to justice. And since that day, the Hala have guided the people, and have never led us astray, for they listen to the voice of Gilanain. From the tale of Gilanain as told by Jizharel, keeper of the Ralafaran clan of the Dalish Elves. Thank you so much. Wait, is this a job? Crap. It's a personal commitment that others rely on, so thank you to all the mods. Oh, you know what? I let you slack because you do you, and when you are here, I appreciate it, but you are not getting paid, so all the time you give me is very much appreciated. And one of these days, I'm going to find a way to thank you, Jer, for all this great stuff you've done for the Foxhole. I'm going to find a way. I will find a way. You don't know. It'll happen. Oh, right. So in a simulationist dungeon, if you want to go back to like super old school D&D, where you had a level, right, and each level was like level 1 of the dungeon had level 1 challenges, level 2 had level 2 challenges, etc., etc. But players who were first level could go to level 4, level 5, level 9, and they would just die. Like, if you decided to take the secret passageway from level 1 to level 9 and skip all those levels in between, and you're running around looking at level 9 creatures, you're just gonna die, but that's fine, right? Because in the simulation ways, the dungeon itself exists, and you as players choose how you want to go through it. You can choose to go through it in a way that is good for you, or in a way that is not good for you. Like, Right? The dungeon itself doesn't change based on what level you are. The dungeon exists, and you move your way through it how you want to. That would be the simulationist way. And then the narrativist way of the dungeon would be what makes for a good story. If it's not a good story, like if it's a good story to have things that are out of your league in the first part of the dungeon, so that you, and then, like maybe it's a good story to have the villain there right away, but then you can't defeat the villain, and then the villain escapes, and then at the end of the dungeon,
wet all the way from my ankle to my other ankle.
oh, Iron Bull. And so then maybe what's going to happen in the dungeon next is that you're going to have, like, maybe the ghost of your mother will be there. It doesn't matter, it doesn't make any sense, but that's going to be a really good part of the story. We'll have the ghost of your mother there. That'll be really good. And then we're going to have, like you sort of, you craft the dungeon based on what would make a good story, right? Based on what narratively, right? So you're like, I want my dungeon to be like a 5-act play. So in the first act of the play, this is going to happen in the dungeon because that's a good story. Then we're going to go to the second act, and that'll be a good thrilling story. And then we'll go to the, so you have like a plot to your dungeon, and you design your dungeon to fulfill that plot. And right, so you can have a dungeon crawl made with any of these 3 stances. They just would be sort of put together differently, or they would have different modes. Oh, we're talking about tabletop, but you could LARP as well. If it doesn't make sense, it's not a good story. Well, that's not necessarily true. But I would say that's not necessarily true. So, for example, there are things that people often let things go that don't make sense because they make for a good story. It happens all the time. I think a really good example would be what are you doing, bad guy? Why are you freezing me? That was let's deal with. Oh, hello. We're hanging out right here right now. We've got some things happening. So, for example, there are times when I just want to disrupt this rift. You know, I don't ask for much. I just want to disrupt this rift. Why are people attacking me? So rude. Leave me alone. Monsters, I want to disrupt the rift. Stop it. Ugh. Alright, I'm up here. Give me a second as I disrupt this rift. There we go. But here's the thing. Deus Ex Machina is a tried and true part of narrative, where the cavalry comes in at the end to save you, and people think that is really, that's actually not only, like, that is standard storytelling. Like, having the Deus Ex Machina come in and save you, standard storytelling. People do it all the time, and they think it's good story, right? It may not make sense, and then players like it. Players like to get that thing. They're like, ha ha ha, right, I've got it. Right, and as a matter of fact, Chekhov's gun is standard storytelling technique, and if you don't use Chekhov's gun at the end of the play that you introduced in Act 1, then people get mad at you, right? They're like, what is it even doing there? And then also, you think about things like, there are times when it would make sense for somebody to die, and you can look at the, what do you call it? You can look at the, Ella says we're going to face a dragon right now, just that we're on our way towards Dragon-ness, I think, maybe. There is a dragon in this area? Oh, hey! We can go and help out, our buddy right now. So we should keep heading east, is what we should do. Alright, hold on. Let's get this obsidian. So, okay, so here is the best example. Oh, hey, there's a dragon. Hey, dragon. Did you notice that dragon? That looked like a really large dragon just hanging out. Just hanging out, everyone. Large dragon. We are looking for... So we want to head east. Here. Okay, here we have some bad guys that we need to take care of. And we are going to do that.
Sad that it came to this, but at least it is done.
Also, we just killed them real fast. That was really great for us. Good for us. Just a little bit of murder. Oh, it's easy to kill? Oh, great. Good to know. We will find it, and then we will kill it. Just because murdering dragons is, I'm sure, not bad for the ecosystem in any way. Like, I'm sure it'll be totally fine. Let's head that way. Alright, so, perfect example, right? I was playing in a game with a very narrativist GM, and we got to the final confrontation with the big boss, and the GM decided that it was a really good story for my character to die in this battle, right? To have a heroic sacrifice and die. And the dice rolls just didn't happen that way. Like, I was not dying. I was doing quite well. It was fine. And so the GM just killed me. Was like, and as you hit the last blow, you're struck through the heart, and like you kill the bad guy and you die as well, because that was like the really great story. But that's not what the dice said at all. But story-wise, right? The story trumps the dice, even if it didn't actually make any sense. Or similarly, a stupid kobold whose first level gets a lucky critical hit and would kill you, and you decide that's not a good story, so you just say that doesn't happen. So you just, you know, I mean, and sure, you can say, oh, then I think I'll be good with that one. And you can always say, and players will always say, oh, that's a bad GM when it involves me dying. But they often don't complain when the GM fudges and makes you not die, even if that doesn't make any sense, because people don't want to die. Well, it was a good narrative story, right? I mean, for me it was unsatisfying because I'm not a narrativist. That's not my main mode. But for the narrative, it's like, you know, that makes it seem like a big Hollywood movie. It's very dramatic. One time that Romans did anything good narratively. But see, this is the thing. I disagree because I don't like narrativism. If I liked narrativism, I'd be like, oh, that was so great that my character died, even though it made no sense for the dice. Because, like, how dramatic that was. But I'm not a narrativist. Incomplete letter. Okay, who's writing this letter? Do we know? We don't know. So we'll just do this voice. Dear Hector, I hope you are well. I regret daily not joining you in the fight. I wanted to be free, not to have to deal with the rebellion or Templars. I wanted to be left alone. I was stupid. It's been difficult. I forgot how easy life was in the Circle. Yes, there were Templars and it wasn't great, but everything was provided. Food, shelter, clothing. On my own, I had no coin and few skills. A soldier came to me in a tavern. He knew I was a mage. I don't know how he could tell. He asked me for some magic tricks to turn the tide of the Civil War. I agreed. What choice did I have? I was hungry. I have to stay hidden because the army doesn't like mages. I don't ask. I just do what he says. I don't even know where to send this letter. It's pointless. But writing helps. I wish... Ooh. Sorry. That looks bad for that mage. It does take a bit of agency within player, though, unless it's agreed upon. I mean, when we start at these, we understand characters can die, but... There's a but. I mean, basically, right, there are a lot of players who just don't want their characters to die, and if the GM basically makes it so that their characters don't die, then they'll be happy, right? And they'll be like, that's narratively better, because in the narrative, my character would never die, or perhaps fail, right? So there's a lot of, I mean, players will just be, players are super happy for you to do things that don't make sense if it involves them winning. And if you're in a narrative space, then that's great, right? Because then you don't fail, and you don't die, and maybe it doesn't actually make sense that person would give you that information right now, and we all know that it wouldn't make sense because you failed those rolls, and that person just wouldn't tell you those things. It makes no sense. But you know what? It's good for the story, so we're just going to do it. So there's a lot of things that don't make sense mechanically that happen narratively because, right, if you're in a narrative space, that's what you do. I can hear this dragon. I hear this dragon off to my right. I think we're getting close. Gang, let's save. Let's save. Let's just save right now because there's a dragon, which I assume up north. Ooh, gang. Sound design is good. There's a dragon around here. There it is. Okay, hold on. What is this dragon about? Can we find out? Oh, I wonder, does this look like a... Oh. Oh. Alright, hold on. Hold on. Let me go stealth. No! No, that's not what I wanted. Let me go stealth. And let me sneak a little closer to this dragon. And maybe find out... Hold on. Find out what it is vulnerable to? I don't know yet. We've got to pass out, go a little bit closer. I know, that was totally... It is a cool looking dragon. Oh, I will tell you something. Narratives will tell you over and over and over again that you fudge the rules to make a better story, and that's actually really, really important. That if the rules will ruin the story, you fudge them. And that is a narrativist standard, and they will, like, that is a, immunity all disabled. Spirit. Wait, where are we? I can't read this. What do we have? Read. Okay, here we go. Spirit vulnerability, greater electricity resistance. Okay. Alright. Now, let's go here, and let's see what's in your inventory. You are currently using... This is electricity damage, and that is not what we want you to use. This is cold. Like, 225 is a lot, but, we clearly cannot use that on... oh, wait, let's go here. So we have, this is 76, that's not interesting. We have an 83 fire damage, which will give us some bonus, right? That's fine. This is a spirit damage with a spirit rune. So I suppose let's put him on the... Let's give him this cold damage one. It's not as strong as staff, but okay, I'm going to tell you something. All right, Jer, as a narrativist, if you have players and they're playing sort of heroes, and one of your players at the beginning of your narrative arc gets stabbed, like just picks a fight in a bar with a person who's a no-name level grunt, gets stabbed and would die, do you just let that character die at the beginning of the game by a nobody NPC in a way that doesn't move the story forward and actually stops that character from doing the story? Most narrativist GMs I know would say no, they wouldn't. They would just not let that happen. Is the best she has Spirit's Blade. Oh. I mean, you would not let the player die to a nobody in a pointless way, right? So we're just going to give him this. I don't know if this is the best one for him. That NPC would spare, right? So if you roll the dice and the dice come up, he's going to die, you would just not let that happen, right? You would say, nope, let's not do that. Oh. Here we go, gang. Not the best. Let's see if we can do what we can do here. I'm getting hit by things, and I don't like it. Let me... Why do I have only one bees? That makes me sad. Hold on. Let's see what we have here. Let us throw bees at you. Let us have you take a majory potion. Let's have you take a rock armor potion, and let's have you take a mighty offense tonic. And then I will do some shooting at you from far away, because I like shooting at people from far away. You guys are making me think how I GM a lot. That's what we do here. Hey, dragon, where'd you go? Oh, ouch! That was rude. Let me heal myself right now, and avoid these big electricity balls, and then do some murdering again. That's a little bit of that. And I want to stay away from its head. Sorry, we've got a dragon at the moment. It's just sort of like in our face. There we go. Is that what I want? I want this. And I want that. Oh, I know what I can do. Here, we're going to do this. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000. Oh, stupid dragon. Because okay, wait. Let me move. Hey, Ella, you are right. This dragon is going to be okay, I think. I think we were going to get this dragon, and it'll be alright. I want to read what people said. I'm very interested. Oh, dragon. I want to read what you said, but I'm afraid the minute I look at the text, it's going to shoot a fireball, an electricity ball at me. And, then I'll die. You know what? Iron Bull, you need to go and take a potion. And I also need to take a potion. And then we need to kill the dragon. Dragon? Give me a second. Okay. We did it! Gang, we killed the dragon. Woo! Dragon dead. Kill the dragon. We killed the dragon. Let's save. Just, you know. Alright, now let me see what you said. Hold on. Yeah, not death, bad consequences, but not death, right? See? Sure, the death of the character not only narratively adds tension to the story as a whole, but also creates a subplot of whether the other PCs want to try and bring Robert Paulson back. In that scenario, I think it depends on my NPC, if my is allowed to beat them down or not kill. That is a good narrator and storyteller's share. Stay mobile. When the story starts, PCs don't have access to resurrection, and the PC hasn't had a chance of any kind of arc. I mean, you started it. It was just sitting there. I know, I did start the fight. It's true. I really did. If it's further along the campaign, then yes, the NPC could kill the PC. In fact, I had a campaign where a level 1 character died to a wolf pup, and the narrative turned into doing favors for the local healers to bring him back. On the other hand, PH, the player will learn not to just mess around. Gotta go! Oh! Gotta go! So, it was great to have you here, Critwitch, and I'm sad to see you go, but it was lovely to have you here, as long as you were here for. And we're way over leveled. Thank you, Ella. I was like, what is going to happen? Ella, when we first started, I will tell you, I made some very poor choices multiple times, and I died to a lot of dragons in unfortunate ways because I was underleveled, and also, oh, hey, look at all that cool stuff. Let's take it. Well, but see, the thing is, that ruins the narrative, right? That ruins the narrative. And, I mean, I have talked to, I mean, Cher's one of the few exceptions, but I've talked to a lot of narrative GMs who say not only would they, but that you should. That actually, that you don't let PCs die in stupid ways. PCs die in exciting ways, but not in stupid ways. And that it's just bad GMing to let your PCs die in stupid ways. So that's not, because it ruins the story. as Robin Laws, famous game designer, said, just when I was at that Gen Con talk on one-on-one games, Philip Marlowe doesn't die in the middle of the book, and so you don't have your players die in the middle of the game, because that is not how the narrative works, right? That ruins the narrative. Ooh, I think we found some stuff, folks. This is what we are looking for. Nice. Okay. Yes. Right, so if... Hey! Encantador, how are you? I feel a lot of narrativists don't know how to write around player interactions, and at that rate, you might as well just write a book. Well, a lot of players want a book, right? They want a book, they want a movie, they want not to die in Act 2, they want to die... They don't want to die at all, but if they do, they want it to be in Act 5, and they want it to go in those sorts of ways. No, RPGs are not books. They're not books at all, but people, especially a trend of narrativists, that's how they think of them. They think about RPGs as books or plays or movies. But see, on ensemble TV shows, the characters... See, here's the thing, PH. On ensemble TV shows, the characters can't die unless it's at the end of a season because of contract reasons, right? You're not going to have Captain Kirk die in the middle of a season of Star Trek. That's just not going to happen. Kirk is only going to die if Shatner and the people have contract negotiation problems. And they're most... Well, but see, people have different ideas of what a good story is. A narrativist and a gamist and the simulations have different ideas of what is... Well, that's interesting. Of what makes a good story. Interesting. Where are we there? Let's take this. Scattered notes. Right, but that's not how a lot of traditional ensemble shows work. In a lot of traditional ensemble shows, no one's going to die. First off, they're not going to die at all, or if they do, it's going to be like some big dramatic moment. That is one idea, right? Like, that is, like, I don't, there's a reason why there is plot armor. It's not my style of saying, but a lot of people are not happy with characters dying in ways that don't fit the traditional tropes of their storytelling. They don't like it. You got a cold? No! Drink lots of fluids, get lots of sleep, Encantador, and how was your Fantasy Age campaign? How did that go? I am doing well, and I have to do laundry. Like, those are the things where I'm at. So we have these scattered notes. Who are they by? Okay, alright. Amazing creatures, dragons. Everyone I've encountered has had a unique personality. This one, for example, enjoys being around water, saw her splashing about. A remarkable sight. I would have joined in her revels had Caleb not held me back. Ah, Caleb. Good porter, but timid. I told Caleb and the others, dragons much prefer to eat beasts of the wilds rather than humans. Unfortunately, I was proven wrong. A day later, the creature turned away from a Gorgot to go after poor Caleb. I hope the poor little soul got to see the magnificent dome of a gullet. I'm certain it's like the inside of the Grand Cathedral. Observations of Stéphane d'Orion. I feel like this guy may not have some good... maybe making poor choices. That's what I'm going to say. Let's claim this quarry, shall we? We got it. Okay, what do we have here? Just getting over... yeah, recover together fast. This is important. So I think that it's important to, like, I mean, really, I will just tell you, fudging, right, for the narrative. It is something that people talk about all the time. And people get so mad, right? They want characters to get together. They want things to happen, and like that is a form of thinking about a game. It's not the only form. I mean, for me, I think the narrative is what happens, right? Like, I don't think of things in 5-act structure. I don't think of things as in this is what should happen here because that makes the best story. And I don't think of like, oh, this thing happened, so that ruined the story. Because I don't actually think of story as being I don't think of story that way. I think of story as being emergent. And whatever happens is the story, right? The narrative is what happens from the simulation, right? So if somebody dies, then that's the story, and that's the narrative. And if this couple never gets together, that's also the story, that's the narrative, that's what happens. But that is not a particularly narrative way of thinking of it. In a narrative way of thinking of it, you actually want the stories that make sense within sort of traditional narrative storytelling. You want them to be that way, whereas, right, like it's just a very different way. It's a very different way. Like I am happy for me, the narrative isn't based on convention, it's based on just what happens. And if the hero dies, the hero dies. If the hero dies in Act 1, then the hero dies in Act 1. If the heroes stop being heroes and start being jerks, then that also happens. If they become cowards, then that also happens. Like, whatever happens for me is the story. But that's because I'm a narrativist. But those would not be satisfying things in a... because I'm a simulationist, but those would not be satisfying things in a narrativist mode. Let's activate that. If the story becomes too much of the game... But there are people who like it, right? I mean, there are people who... that's what they want, right? And also, in that case, right? In the case of a really narrative space, it's the GM's job to tell the story the players want, right? So the GM figures out what the players want for their story, and then makes that story happen for the players. If the players want to defeat their nemesis, the GM will make that happen. Like, the GM will make it happen so that the players defeat the nemesis. And that they don't fail to defeat the nemesis, because that's not the story. If the player wants to become a prince or a princess, the GM will make that happen. Like, the narrative GM will make the story happen that the players want. So do you tend to allow character death and make the players learn from it? What if players not... Well, this is all about what the players want. Like, if a player says to me, if there are a group of players who say, I never want to fail, and I never want to die, the question is, do I want to run that game? It may be that maybe they should have a different GM run that game where they can have that experience. Maybe I will run it for them, but it's all about what... Like, if somebody says to me, hey, I want you to run, but I want you to run a really narrativist game where we go through this hero's journey, and we don't die, and we don't fail, and we basically are going to win at the end. The question is, do I want to run that game or not? Maybe I do, maybe I don't. If I do, then I'm going to do that because that was the contract. Or the contract is that I'm going to give them what they want, and that is what they want, and that's what I will do. Right, but see, some people don't want the let's see what happens. Some people that's what they want, and that's the story they want to tell. They want a story of somebody who is, right, they were, like, you know, it's like somebody makes a character who is the heir to the throne, but has been kicked out of the heir by the evil uncle, and is now in hiding, and is going to be an adventurer, so they can then, but they want to reclaim the throne. No. Fail is not always death, but some people don't want to fail either. They don't want to die, and they don't want to fail. Well, the thing is, most narrativists I know, not you are the exception, say that meaningless death is bad narrative. Any kind of death that is actually not part of the plot, doesn't fit within the plot, or disrupts the plot, is bad. Like, it's bad storytelling. Like, you just don't have your heroes die stupidly. Like, that's just not good narrative. And most of the narrativists I know, and they're not extreme narrativists, they're like mainstream, like, that's... I mean, and we have game systems that work this way on purpose. Maybe the... Like, I mean... I'm just telling you that these are game designers who make games that are really popular. And are explicitly sort of doing it this way, that you're just not, like, they're just not going to do it. Like, you're not going to die in the middle of the game, because that's bad narrative. And they're like they get Any awards for it. So I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Like, you can say that they're bad narrativists, but I would say they're kind of center into how people understand narrativism nowadays. So and you can call them bad narrativists, and I give you a thumbs up for it. But I'm just telling you they're also dominant. So an RPG story is not a game as much. Offering of the Dread Wolf. Here, the Dalish believe that Fen'Harel, the Dread Wolf, locked the gods of good and evil away. Only he walks free. Although they seem as a betrayer, elves still erect shrines to Fen'Harel. One imagines they do to not revere him so much as seek to appease him, lest they draw his gaze. From In Pursuit of Knowledge, The Travels of a Chantry Scholar, by Brother Jinned Tibi. And poor Iron Bull needs to take more potions. He always needs to take potions. And where are we? An RPG story is not a game as much. I don't think we can just compare them like that. Could you explain that comment? Oh, we need to head... Look at us. We need to head south to pick up this snowy wyvern. And then I think we're pretty good. We're at that spot. Whoop. Like, I'm just saying, it's like part of it's becoming quite ubiquitous in game design right now, and there are lots and lots of sort of narrativist GM advice in books that will say, if your character would die, don't let him die in a stupid way. Don't let him die. Like, fudge the dice. That's like what your job is. So it's just like there's a lot. So it's a very standard thing. I mean, I'm going to run. Oh yeah, no, a video game is not an RPG. No, I'm not talking about video games. I'm talking about RPGs. I'm not talking about video games at all. I'm only talking about RPGs. I am not talking about video games. I'm talking about people winning any awards for tabletop RPG books, wherein people don't die, and cannot die, or where that is, or until the end, right? That's not the story that you're telling. Yeah. So no, I am not talking about video games at all. Not even a little bit. And I'm telling you all, I am going to run Cthulhu Confidential, and it may end up being the first thing I actually do run on stream. I just have to sort of figure it out, figure out my timing in my life, and I've got to get through this talk that I'm giving. I've got like a couple talks that are happening in the fall, and I've got to get through the one that's next week. That's like a thing that I really have to do. People who design RPG systems, like Robin Laws is a famous RPG designer who's designed many systems, actual games, and in the rule books he will say, right, these are the mechanics for this, and this is what you should do. And of course, I'm sure does he divide adventures as well? He does. I mean, I think he also designs adventures, but I'm talking about game systems, or like to do this system well. Here's what you should do. Right, but the system does not allow for death. And then when they say, okay, hey, here's your DM guide, let's say, here's how you run this game. In this game, don't let people die if it's not narratively interestingly. Or they make rules wherein you cannot, or they just tell you fudge the dice. And then pre-made adventures are not used. Oh my gosh, Paladin Hunk, a lot of pre-made adventures are totally narrative. Lots of them are, because there's a narrative in the adventure and you have to get from point A to point B. They can get super railroady, actually. There are not a lot of sandbox adventures. There are not a lot of them. Oh, well, there are also a lot of gamist adventures. It depends on the kind of adventures. There are very few sandbox ones. There's some sandbox adventures. You certainly get a lot of gamist ones, but you also get a number of narrativist ones depending on the game system you're talking about as well, where they're sort of pushed there. But you are correct. There are a lot of gamist adventures, lots. But the thing is, nowadays the trend is moving away from gamism in general, so a lot more of the adventures are sort of move like just the move like just the move towards adventure paths in general sort of moves towards a larger overarching narrative and trying to get you from there to from the beginning to the end of it. Exactly, right? And so, especially with the rise of adventure paths, right? We start moving towards more, but also, I mean, Vampire had a lot of narrativist adventures. A lot of narrativist games trend towards narrativist adventures. Gosh, Unknown Armies had a bunch of one-shots that were very narrativist. So much so that I really didn't understand how I could do I really am interested in Unknown Armies. I have yet to figure out how to run a campaign in it, but the third edition has come out, so I'm going to read that and see if that gives me better ideas, because a lot of their one-shots were like one and then everybody dies at the end, like really sort of made so that it filled a really nice narrative, but did not lend itself to ongoing campaigns at all. Ripped piece of paper. First off, we don't know. Whoever finds this, do not trust that fast-talking bitch, Solen, or whatever she's calling herself. Told me she'd heard of treasure, that she would sell me the map. I gave her everything I had for a worthless map leading this nest of beasties wanting to eat me. Damn her. They're waiting for me out there. I can hear them breathing. If you see that bitch, split her fucking skull for me. Apparently that didn't work out well for him. At all. Yeah, I mean... So you didn't like them, but I will tell you what. There are people who really did like them, for whom that was like the best thing ever, and they thought it was like awesome sauce. So just like pondering, but this is again about knowing your style, and it's about knowing what kind of style of GM and player you are, and how to best get there. Yeah, so I'm going to run Cthulhu Confidential. It is a thing that I'm going to do by Robin Laws. And there are people who like it. That's what I'll say. There we go. Alright, so what I was going to say, though, was I'm going to run Cthulhu Confidential, which is very narrativist, super narrativist, and it also... There are 3 adventures with 3 different PCs, and they say that the adventures should be able to be run in one session. That's what they say, so that if this is true, that is able to be run in one session, then I should be able to, like, just run some of these one-offs. Oh, you can run Vampire simulationist or narrativist. And as a matter of fact, it was one of the games that was one of the more narrativist games around at the time. It was, yeah, I mean, Vampire really, really lends itself to narrative if that's what you want to do. And, like, yeah. And a lot of systems, you can do one or the other, or you can do a couple of things. But it was not, I would say, rules-wise, it wasn't particularly simulationist, because it doesn't really try, I mean, like, it's somewhere in the middle, it's a bit of a hybrid, I would say, in the middle. Now, you would get, what's interesting about Vampires, you'd get a mix of sort of simulationist, ooh, what is this? Simulationist, setting books, like Chicago by Night, like that sort of thing is a very simulationist sort of setting book. But then you also get really narrativist adventures as well. So you kind of get this sort of mix of both. Broken Dog. I intended to take a charcoal rubbing of the beautiful elven carvings on the stone to present to a scholar of the University of Olay for translation. Unfortunately, halfway through the process, the chilling sensation of something brushing my leg beneath the dark water interrupted me. I dropped both scroll and charcoal stick and began running, not stopping till I was on dry ground. From A Journey Through the Dales by Lord Horace Medford, Adventurer. Look at that, gang. I think I've got everything in this area. Look at us. We are such superstars. I cannot even handle it. Let us travel here. Oh, they're not going to let us travel. We're going to travel... You know, I just want to go over here. Well, alright, let's go here. Let's go to this space, and we'll travel around that way. Well, but the thing is, you can make it really good if that's your... Like, if you're super into narrativism. I mean, I think some of the most narrativist games that I have played have been... Oh, let's replenish all of that. Have been vampire games, because I don't play a lot of the other ones. But I was gonna finish my story. So the thing I was gonna tell you all was that... Let's get to Iron Bull. That I am going to run this game. It is super, super narrativist, and it's got a lot of stuff going on that I'm skeptical of, to say the least. But I'm going to run it, because I think that it's important to do those things that are outside of your natural wheelhouse. And also, the adventures themselves should probably be one-shots. I'm also intrigued just to see how this is going to go, but they should be one-shots. I mean, they might take 2 sessions depending on how the players go, but super narrativist, and it uses the gumshoe system, wherein the central thing that all gumshoe games do is investigate. Like, that's what gumshoe games are about. And they have divided all skills into 2 categories, and those categories are investigative skills and other skills, secondary skills. And let's see where we at on our map. Okay, so maybe we can head... We've got a lot of stuff here. Let's see if we can continue heading north. Oh, that might not be interesting for us if we head north. What do we do if we head south? What do we have here? Well, alright, let's head north. Let's head north. Yeah, right? So, so you have 2 different types of skills: investigative skills and other secondary skills. And your investigative skills are things like assess honesty, interrogate. What else would be one of your investigative skills? Oh, forensics would be an investigative skill. What else? Something like history would be an investigative skill. What else? Any skill, research, computers, biology, any skill that you would use to gather information of any sort. Fast talk. Fast talk may not be a good way to describe it. Like, sweet talk. See, look, there's a thing right here. It's a letter. Well, we're gonna keep going forward, I suppose, and we're gonna see what we can do. Any kind of skill that you could possibly get information from is an investigative skill, and in the gumshoe system, you always succeed at any attempt to gain information. There's no roll necessary. You will always, always, always succeed at those attempts. So, now, the caveat is if you use the right skill. So, for example, if you want to use analyze handwriting to gain information, but there's no handwriting to analyze, then that's not going to be successful because there's no handwriting there. Or I suppose what would be another example? If you want to use your blood spatter analysis, but there's no blood to analyze, then that clearly will not be. Well, actually, I mean, here's the thing. If fortune telling is a skill an information gathering skill, well then yes, you could use fortune telling and you would successfully tell the future, because that's how the system works. Any information skill, like if there's a bad guy and the bad guy is telling you a story about you know, where he was last night, you can use assess honesty and find out if he's being honest with you or not. And you will do that. Like, and there's no roll, there's no chance of failure. If you search the room. If you want to search the room, and if there's a clue there, you will find it. You just say, I use search, and then you find whatever clues are in that room that can be found through searching. And there's no failing any of those rolls. You can fail secondary skill rolls, the ones that are not considered important for the game. Alright, I want to head south a little bit, because there's a cache there for us that I hope we can get. So look, in the game, their whole position is, the game designer says, it's not interesting to fail. Alright, I need to head east. Also, why are you attacking me right now? Don't do that. Alright, so I need to head east. There should be something for us. There should be like a, maybe it's over here, actually. Like a letter? Hello. Loot? So, the game designer says, right, that this is done because otherwise, like in an investigative game, if you don't find the clue, then the entire game ends, the story ends, the narrative ends, and that's not fun. And so he's just taking all of that out. So, you know, you can, my friends, last words from a Corporal Marsh. If I do not survive this terrible conflict, I wish my property to be distributed amongst my family thusly. To my dearest mother, the last salary drawn from my service, to his grace the Grand Duke. To my brother, Victor, my arms and armor, long may you defend our family. To my elder sister Margot, my love and everything is a pinewood chest. To my younger sister Bess, the pinewood chest, and my apologies. And may the Maker take me into his hands. Got it, my friends. What does the game designer... Hey, I will tell you, this Robin Laws has won many awards for making games that everyone is like talking about. So you can fail to punch somebody in the face, that's fine, but you cannot fail on any investigation skill, period, because they say that that's not, we want to head, this is where we want to go, because they say it's not good for a game, it's not good narrative, it's not interesting, so you're not going to do it. Now, I will also say, and I think this is sort of interesting, that, so Scott, I'm just telling you that the industry thinks this is brilliant. So you may not think it's brilliant. The industry think it's brilliant. And you can say, I disagree with the industry, and that is fair. But I will tell you that this is not like a fringe thing. This is a thing that is very well regarded, is what I will say. So, now, in the Cthulhu Confidential, a damp note, and also Suicide Squad won an award, but it was critically panned. Robin Law's games are critically heralded. See, and PH, being perhaps more narrativist, would find a way to get the players information they need, right? So this is the idea that you just like, so let's just stop pretending. If we're going to give it to them anyway, we just give it to them. But see, there's no fudging of rolls, because there's no rolls. You just get it. Damp note. Nolan, I've hidden the boat under Ferb's old fishing pier. It should have everything you need. Meet me down the river, but watch out for the currents. I'll wait for you. And then we'll... Because that person just got murdered. Sad times. I'm looting dead bodies. Makes me feel a little uncomfortable. Also, I feel like if we get to a good point in the river, we're going to get something good. There's stuff in there. Alright, let's see. We have... Oh, we're missing some things. North a little bit. Up here, probably on the pier, I think. So I'm gonna,
Reminds me of when Mother would take me boating in the summer. Well, she had the servants take me on the boat while she sat inside with a cool drink.
I'm so sorry for your life, Dorian. I feel like your parents were not really attentive to you and did not give the love you needed. But that's okay, because you're now in a healthy relationship, and it will be fine. Oh, well, I'm not done with the game yet. I can't say. I don't yet know. I can't say what I think about it yet until after I finish it. Because how I feel about it now may not be how I feel about it at the end. It's too early. I can't say. I can't say yet. I need to see how it finishes. Because I don't know yet. Oh, art style? Pixel, let's see, we want to head south and a little bit east. South and a little bit east. I'm not like a huge fan of the pixel art style in general. I know it's become quite popular. It's never, like, it's fine. I'm not enamored of it. It's okay. I know that it's, like, it's kind of the new thing right now in indie games. Well, not the new thing, but it's a thing in indie games right now. That's cool. It's fine. I think it does it well. But, like, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, it's fine. As for puzzle design, I need to see more puzzles. Like, there's 6 chapters, right? And we've done 2. I need to see more of them to see what I think of them. I don't know yet. So we want to head east. What are all the... Oh, yeah. We want to head east, mostly east, and then a little bit south. Mostly east. Yeah, like, I don't yet know, because something that might work for... an approach that might work for one puzzle may not work for 6. Do you know what I mean? Like, it might... Right now, they're going for a... don't give you information, make you work it out, fail, try a couple times again. And that's fine right now, but I don't know how it will manifest. A little north, a little east. A little north, a little east. So I have to... So basically, I don't know yet. I have to see. I have to see if what they do carries well over 6 games. Because you know how it is. Like, there's some things you're like, oh, that's cool and innovative, and then you're like, now it actually doesn't work. Like, it works for one thing, but it doesn't work long term. And this might work long term. I just don't know yet. I have to see. I just have to see. And also, I also need to see what the puzzles are like. If they're all the same, then it gets repetitive and then it becomes less interesting. If they're different, then that's different again. So, for example, right now there's a lot of, like, you don't know what's happening. They're not hand-holding you, and I find that currently very interesting. I'm enjoying that at the moment, but I need to see... Alright, due south. Due south. Okay, there's apparently a thing. Yeah, so what I will say about that torture puzzle that was not making me happy. I mean, and let me try to be a little bit more clear here, because, you know, what are we looking for? We're looking for soldiers' letters. So there's going to be some soldiers' letters right around here, and I don't know where they are. So this is what I would say about the puzzle of the torture that I was like, I don't know about this. And that was the repetitiveness of the text. Considering that they've designed it so that you have to play the level multiple times in order to pass it, I would want a lot more variety in my text. That is my current feeling on that one, that I didn't think there was enough variety of text. So it became... the repetitiveness of it became less interesting. Because of the fact that you had to do it multiple times. So then I was like fast forwarding through text. Oh, look at those Dalish paintings. That's really cool. like murals. Like that was awesome. So like the first time you play it, it's like amazing, right? I was like, oh, right? But then what ends up happening is that the immersion starts getting broken down because of the ways in which you have to play it multiple times. So I think that if they had, like the second time, I will tell you this, the second time was actually fine because things happened in a slightly different order, so I got some new text. Gang, I cannot find this soldier's letter, and that makes me sad. So let us... I suppose we can head... Let's head north and get those things up there. Because I just can't find this soldier's letter because I'm a bad person. Not a bad person. I won't say that. But for me, the difficulty of it was fine, but it ended up being such that you ended up repeating things in a way that ended up breaking immersion in the end. So I feel like they could have maybe tooled that a little bit. But okay, so here's a good example of how I can tell you I don't know what I think yet about it. I loved like the idea of like, oh, you're gonna have to sit here for 19 days. Like I thought that was really good. That was psychologically really interesting. And then, but I would have been irritated if they actually made you do 19 days. I think that would have been a little bit harsh, because I don't know how useful that would have been. I would want a lot more sort of variation there. But that I liked. I did like it, and I had some quibbles with the ways in which the repetition ends up breaking immersion. Like the difficulty level requires a number of repetitions that break immersion, so that by the third time it was just like, okay, these are like, and now I know what I gotta do. I just gotta do it, you know. And like it sort of really sort of diminished some of the power of that particular puzzle. But the question becomes, are the other puzzles similar or are they different? So if the other puzzles don't make that same... If that same situation doesn't happen in the other puzzles, wherein immersion's broken through sort of questionable ways of doing things, in terms of either repetition of texts, or... Let's see, we want to head this way? Over here? You know, then like if the other puzzles don't do that, then I'm gonna say give it overall like a really great grade, right? Because for me, one thing that's a little bit wibbly wobbly is not enough to kill a game for me. Like I can handle a lot of things. Yeah, like there are a number of things that people are like, oh well, that wasn't the best thing right there. It's like, yeah, but overall the game is really good, so it's fine. Like I can forgive certain things. It's just the overall. I think it's the overall impact, right? So I'm forgiving of things if the overall impact is still good. That said, I don't like that they called it easy mode. I don't like that, but whatever. That's what they did. Sweetheart, they say war is coming, but do not fear. I will protect you. Once Orlais is at peace, I shall marry you. I love you so deeply and truly, I want to scream it from the rooftops. Your ever-loving Lazar. I bet Lazar's probably dead, because that's how this game works. Well, I don't know. I mean, I think that I just have to see, and we want to head directly west, over here. Oh, body, lots of bodies. Oh. What do we get from these bodies? Enhanced Horn of Valor ring, some gold, not a lot. Let's claim the supply cache. Gang, I feel like we are honing in on the end of the Exalted Plains. I'm feeling really good about this. I'm not feeling good about that one letter that's going to make me crazy, because I must have it. I know, right? I'm so excited. So at this point in time, I am still very excited to see how it goes and what's going to happen with it. So that's a good sign. The fact that it is still keeping my interest, and like, there's some really good things about it so far in terms of initial emotional impact and uncertainty that I'm very much enjoying. I just hope that it will be able to maintain that, is something that I hope. Like, I hope that it is able to... we need to get on the roof, which I think we can probably do from here. I think. It's a little bit of, like, special climbing, maybe? Oop. We can get it. We can get it. Let's... Iron Bowl, you need to get out of my way. You're ruining... Iron Bowl! Stop it. Iron Bowl, I'm doing climbing stuff right now, so, you know, knock it off. Oh, so it's gonna... I was telling you about Cthulhu Confidential. And because Cthulhu Confidential is a one-on-one game, so like one GM, one player, you cannot die at all until the end of the game, right? The game is sort of... the mechanics are such so that you cannot die until the end of the game, because there's only one player, so, you know... oof. Maybe I can get up this way. No. We're gonna try again. Well, wait, let me do a 360, because maybe there's another way up, like right over here. Let's try jumping up here and seeing if we can get there. I think this is it. There we go. What game will you play after... yeah, see, Ice Bunny, we will never stop playing Dragon Age Inquisition. It will never end. Actually, I think we're getting really close to the end, to be honest. Alright, so let's just head north and a little east. Well, mostly east and a little north. So, this way. So, I've got a bunch of shorter games that I'm going to play on the PS4 after Dragon Age Inquisition, and I think the first one... I think I walked past it. Oh, no, we're good. I think the first one will probably be... I've got Life is Strange and Everybody's Gone to Rapture. Both of those are shorter games. Ooh. Right about here. Nice. That was excellent. Gang, look at all of our progress. And now we just need to head due south. Due south. Look at us, folks. I am super excited about all the things we've cleared out. We just need to head due south, and I think we're good. Well, you know, we still have some more things to do, but we're in that zone. So I'll probably do Everybody's Gone to Rapture and Life is Strange, because those are both short games that we can do. And then, after that... Okay, gang. Look at us. Look at us right now. We have done all of this. We just need to head... This stupid letter is going to be the bane of my existence. We will get there later. I don't know what that is doing. Let us do a... There's a merchant. Oh, let's just grab this. We can travel there. Grab it. It'll be really fast. We'll be done. Oh, Hellblade. Yes, is that... Because I think Hellblade I have to do on the PS4. Because I think it's not Mac compatible. So I think I have to do it on the PS4. But, I was told that I was supposed to play, maybe after those two short ones, that I should play, Last of Us. Because I've got Last of Us over there, and people say I should play that one as well. So, and I think that those are like, what, 10-hour games, something like that. Hello.
You will always be welcome here.
Thanks. We have a... Where did that supply cache go? Oh, directly the direction that I'm facing? Here we go. Right, so Last of Us, right? So I think that we're looking at, you know, Everybody's Gone to Rapture, Life is Strange, Last of Us. And now we just need to hit over there. So we're going to just head east. And that should probably take us to places we want to go. I'm feeling pretty good about that. So yeah, so those are the ones that I'm thinking about. Because what I want to do, so here's my thinking, if you want to know. My thinking is, I'm going to want to play some shorter games on the PS4, because I suspect I'm going to want to do a sort of a slightly longer RPG on the Mac, right? Because I've got Torment, Tides of Numenera, I've got Original Sin, I've got a number of RPGs that I think will be a little bit longer, so I want to do some shorter games on the PS4 so that I can do some of the longer games on the Mac. Like, try to switch it off. Do you know what I mean? That feels to me like a... Where are we? Okay, so now we need to head north sort of a bit more aggressively. Yeah. That'll be fine. So this is what I'm thinking, right? I want to play Divinity Original Sin. I want to play Torment, Tides of Numenera. I want to play Pillars of Eternity. So I've got some of these very cool RPGs on the Mac, but I don't want to be playing a really long RPG on the Mac at the same time I'm playing a really long RPG on the PS4. So I'm going to try to mix it up. I do have, by the way, Mass Effect Andromeda here for the PS4, but that will have to wait until, right, I cycle out. Oh, so anyway, you can't die in Cthulhu Confidential. Just can't die until the end. And what happens is, let's say you get into a fight and you fail some rolls and somebody stabs you. What ends up happening is that you get a, let's see, north and a little east, this way. You get a condition. You get a condition, like you can get a bunch of conditions like, oh, bad back, or whatever you got going on. But you get a condition, and that condition would be a deadly condition. That condition could be something like bleeding out. Oh, that's going to be up there, I'm pretty sure. So let's see. Oh, hey. Supply crate. Nice. Gang, we are just cruising through this. We're going to hit these supply caches. We're so, like, oh my gosh, I feel like such a productive superstar right now. I just want you to know it. Tell me what condition. So you might get like a terminal condition that will kill you if you don't take care of it before the end of the adventure. So if you get to the end of the adventure, let's say, for example, you get stabbed. That's one of the conditions you've gotten, being stabbed. You're stabbed and bleeding. And you don't... So now you're stabbed and bleeding. Now you can, and if you do not take care of the stabbed and bleeding situation, by the time you get to the end of the adventure, you die. You just bleed out and you die. I believe that it's not difficult to take care of that bleeding condition. I think all you need to do is go to the hospital, and then you will no longer be bleeding and you'll be fine. My condition is muscular. But if you go to the hospital, here's the trade-off. If you go to the hospital to take care of that bleeding condition, then the bad guys are going to have time to advance their plot, right? So you have to basically make this choice between, like, do you want to give the bad guys time to advance their plot, or, which could be bad for you long run, under protection of the Inquisition, or do you want to just push forward even though you're bleeding all over the place wherever you go, and that, you know, is not so great for you long term. So, but in the game, right, no dying, no death until the end, and I think even then that's sort of maybe a bit voluntary. So I'm going to run it, right? This is like a super narrativist system that removes failure for all central tasks and also removes the possibility of death during the game, although still allowing it to happen at the end if the player, I think, basically so chooses, or basically makes that trade-off. So I am really interested in running it to see how I feel about it. And also, and this is really interesting, I was talking to Robin Laws, the designer of the game, at Gen Con, and I asked, can you improvise on, like, because one of the things about, do you want to be a father to your daughter, or do you want to save the world with your friends? Yes, right? That's that will be one of these questions you have to ask yourself. Okay, we are so close to another thing. There's a thing. It looks like... Ooh, found it. This scrap of parchment bears a sketch of a woman. Beneath it, a written line. The sight of you is the only thing keeping me strong. Also, side note, that was not very visible. Gang, I feel like we need to know something right now. And I feel like what we need to know is... I think we have basically, with the exception of those two things, finished the Exalted Plains, and we have only one zone left. But I really want to find out... I don't even know if this is a thing anymore. Let's toggle our waypoint for there, and see if we can just make it over there and see if... Let's see if our waypoint will help us out. Be a father to your daughter, or make... Oh, Jer, would you do me a favor? I would like you to do me a favor if you're around. Actually, anyone can do me this favor, but I would like someone to do me a favor next game session, next Saturday. Next Saturday, having this like super big chat has been so good. It's been so good. Like I can't even tell you all how great it's been to have real chat rather than like the little minuscule sad chat that I was having beforehand. And I was able to get there because somebody gave me a link. So I would love it if next Saturday, if someone can give me a link when I'm on the iPad so that I can get to this wonderful screen easily. Like maybe I'll be able to get it myself, but if I can't, I will ask for it. Yes, right? So, right. Do you want... Yeah. So I'm just hoping that... Thank you. Fix your stream quality and I follow. Well, this is streaming from the PS4. If you're talking about the what do you call it? The level. This is coming from the PS4, so I think there's a slight bit of limitation on that. But I can always look into seeing if moving at a slightly higher frame rate is workable. I can check it out for next time and see if that has a positive or negative effect on frame rate. I can check it out, Vic 2K. But right now we're doing 540p because I want it, because, you know, it's the... What do you think this is? By the way. I don't even know what that is. We just did a strange thing, and I don't know what it was. There was a funky glowing thing, but I don't know what it did. Anyway, welcome in, Vic2K. It is nice to see you here. I'm sorry that the 540p did not make you happy. Yes, like, so we're on the... We're currently on 540p is the frame rate that we're on. And I will try a higher fidelity next time to see if that will work for you. And hopefully the frame rate will not drop. Hopefully. I will test it. I will test it next. So here's this, here's a strange thing here. Doesn't seem to be doing anything. So we're gonna assume that it is not a thing. And it's that last letter. Let's set that active and see if we can find it. That will be our goal, to see if we can get that very last letter. So yes, Vic2K, the next time I do my Saturday stream, I will check it out to see. I will try with the higher what's it? You know what I mean. I will try it not on 540, but I'll try it with the higher one and see if that works out. No, it's fine. But I can't stop right now. I'm not going to quit the stream right now to go and check the different quality. But for the Saturday stream, I will try it out for you, and I will see. Because I don't mind I do not mind experimenting with things and checking things out and seeing if different things will work better. I'm super fine with that. So I will do it for you next Saturday. Um, oh, no problem, Encantador. I will see you on the Discord, and I will see you on the Discord. Oh, I think we have to search this area. Interesting. So, for those of you who don't know, I'm Trooper SJP. This is the Academic Foxhole, where we hang out, we play games, and philosophize very often about tabletop RPGs. I think this is our last one, my friends. A letter written in a fine hand. Oh, and we do have a Discord, so please join us. It is excellent. Who, by the way, Hugo. My dearest mother, all is well. You need not worry. Do not believe what you may hear from others. Trust me, your son. I would never lie to you. The war is going well, and Celine's troops are on the run. Keep up your hopes and your faith. I will be home before you know it. Please send my love to Dorette and the children. Your faithful son, Hugo, who, by the way, is dead. So that turned out to not be true. Sad, sad times. And I think, actually, we're done with this entire zone. And we can just travel there, turn in those things, and then we can head to the storm. Oh, we can talk to all of our friends. Oh, I'm so excited. Gang, we get to talk to all of our people. It's going to be really good. So, Vic2K, if you're still around, please note that next Saturday I will do an experiment with the stream rate and see if that will help out. Also, you can catch us on Thursdays. On Thursdays, I run games from my Mac, which is not running from my PS4, so it's a different setup, and you can see if that works better for you.
Demons are gone? Thank the Maker. Perhaps now we'll be able to get word out.
And then...
I've brought back the personal effects of your fallen soldiers.
This will mean much to loved ones left behind. I cannot thank you enough.
Gang, we did it. We have finished the Exalted Plains. I don't know what that one last exclamation point is there for. Well, actually, let's check our journal, because Exalted Plains, there might be a thing there. Oh, we have to find this... Alright. There are these sketches, it looks like, we're dealing with. And... well... oh, that's right. I'm not streaming this Thursday, however. Not this coming Thursday, because I'm giving a talk. I have to give a talk. But there may be... that may be streamed. I don't know yet. I have to talk to the organizers of the... you know. I have to talk to the organizers. Let's see if we can... we have two things. Let's see if we can find them. I mean, it's a possibility. And... it looks like they're not going to give us any kind of clues. That's fine. Journal. Let's look at this related codex. So, this map of Halan Sulan. We're looking at a part of this river. And mountains near this river. Let's see. Where is our... so here's our river. I really think this is probably where we're looking at, because I don't see any other rivers on this... well, there's this river, which is like a massive river, but I don't think that's what they mean. Maybe they do. Well, this is a good question. But I feel like maybe... let's check here first. Let's go to the Dalish camp and check there first. And see if we can get... so, gang, I'm going to ask you for your visionariness. We are looking for this image. And also, we are looking for this image. So, this is the Enavuris River. I wonder which one's the Enavuris River. I wish they would give us... so here's a small river, and here's a really big river. So I think we should head to the end of this sort of river joint and see if we can see what we can see there. So I think we're heading this way, right? And we're looking for these two things. Yeah, it's a mountain and a gate. We're gonna just follow this river and see. Oh, look, this is Halan Sulan. Okay, so we found this first part. So this is Halan Sulan. Let's look at that map again to see what it looked like, the drawing. So it looks like there's some mountains up here in the top where we need to go. So we need to cross the river to the other side, I think. There. Right, that looks like what we're looking at. So let's head across the river and head into this space. This looks like what they were talking about, I think. Maybe. So it seems like maybe there's a thing over here for us. Hidden, perhaps? Although we don't know? Although, I mean, the thing is, we've been around here already. And so, let's see. Let's go look at the river a little bit more, because if I'm... What was that? Bloodstone. So here's the very end of the river, right? So this is the very end of the river. Maybe they actually mean on this side, though. Oh, what is that? I think we've been there. So this is the river. Here's our image. This looks to me like we're facing out towards the river, but that doesn't look right, because if you notice, there's like a little gate, it looks like an archway, which was not over there. So maybe we are on the other side, because there's no archway over there. So let's try this side of the river. We know we're in the right place because we got a name tag, but where our hidden randomness is a bit of a question. Okay. We're climbing around rocks. Let's try the other side. I think we might have to go... Let's go around. Let's go around. Yeah, those kind of treasure maps are like, they're fun. So we're going to try going around to see if we can hit it. Because I think... we just have to find... Gang! Listen. We are basically done with the Exalted Plains. Like, I just want you to know it. I am so excited. Oh, look, there's a cave. I wonder if that's what we're looking for. Well, we've been in here before. Gang. But there are archways around here. So I do think this side might be... we're gonna go to the Emerald Greens, which apparently are gorgeous. So that's where we're headed. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. No, that's a song. Sometimes I feel like we are so close to this area, but we're gonna just give it a good college try and see what we can find here is what we're gonna do. Okay, okay, look, see, look, there are these arches. This'll take us, alright. Map. It really, see, here's the thing. This really looks like it's the other direction. But it really does. Like, what is the scale of this? Well, like, what is the scale of this map? Inquiring Minds wants to know. The thing is, we have been all over this area. I feel like if there was something here, we would have noticed it. But hey, look, there are the Hala statues. There's one of them. Do you know, I feel really... Yeah. Now, we can only cross the river on one direction, though. Oh! Hello. We can only cross one way, because there's the big, huge, massive river, which I think we'll just drown in. Alright, let's look. I saw some Hala statues when we were over... I think we're really close to some stuff, folks. Oh, don't die. And let's jump across here. Let's, Alright, so I think it's supposed to be around here. Maybe I'm wrong, and this is not at all where it's supposed to be, but I feel like exploring this area some. Ancient baths, my friends. What are we looking at? So here is, if we think about it, right, here is this river part that I think that we're clearly talking about. I mean, we can also, yes, like, we are in this place. Find the spot on the map is what we need to do. So, let's see. Maybe it's that one way over there, but that doesn't look like it in the... But I don't think we can't cross this river. We're gonna drown if we try to cross the river. That's no way for us. So check this out. Tell me what you think. Give me your thoughts on this one. So we have this river. This is the map of Halan Sulan, which is where we are. There's this sort of, it looks like a small river, not the big one. That to me looks like, right, we've got these rocks that are hanging out. The problem I'm having is that if we are looking forward, right? If we're looking forward, then it's going to be the rocks that'll be to our right. But, yeah, I know. It does look, but it also, it seems like it, but there seemed, yes, right? It looks like maybe they're talking about those kinds of formations that we're seeing, those kind of rock formations. But those rock formations don't seem to have these kinds of arches attached to them in a way that... Wait, let me just look one more time. Well, it's probably not going to be one more time. So it looks like we want to be at some kind of... I think we need to be on the other side of the river. But let's just check if there's anything here, just in case. But I think that we do need to be on the other side of the river. Because I don't think it's going to be here for us. But, right, because this just doesn't look like it to me at all. So I really think we need to be... I would love to just walk across this river, but if I do that, I drown. So we're not crossing the river. Like, that's just not going to happen. So let's head... I think we really do... I think we need to be on the other side of the river. I think that's... but we clearly cannot get there that way. Alright, we're going to have to run through this place to get to the other side of the river. It's going to involve being shot at a lot. Well, I know you would have believed me, but maybe, you know. Hi, how are you? Stop shooting at me. I'm on my way out. I wonder if it's the name of the entire river. I mean, Jer's point is well taken. It could be the entire river. But see, here we get it, the Halan Sulan. It really feels like it's that cropping right there. That's what it feels like. But the problem is, right, because here's the river, right, there's a little thing, here's this sort of rock outcropping. I mean, it really looks like that's it. But the question is it really this one? Or is it... Let's stand here for a moment. And let's look. It really feels to me like it's this rock outcropping right there. But that doesn't look innoverous. It is questionable to me. It is questionable. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna go down. We're gonna run down the river, and we're gonna try the other side of the river and see if at the other end of the river there's something interesting. So let's try that. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna try the other end of the river and see if all else fails, we ask Almighty Google. We're gonna run down this river to the other end. Yeah, it looks like this might be the entire river that's called Halan Sulan. So maybe it's the other end, and that's we just need to get to the other end of the river. I feel like that's probably fair. And we'll be totally fine. I think we're great. Also, this is looking does this look good? Does this look good? Yes, it does. I think this might be it. Gang. I think, yeah. We need to get off of this horse. Because I think we're here. Hello? No, wait. Something for us here? No. There's something here. Let's see if we can get it. Gang! We're on fire like gangbusters right now. I'm so excited for us. It is so good. But I do need to get here. There we go. Oop. Let's see. And maybe we need to climb up here, perhaps? I just heard some weird sounds. Oh, hey! Got it. We got some loot. Masterwork, Firm, Bianca Grip, and Fire Rune. Well, that was awesome. And I think, actually, if we look at this, gang, we are insanely awesome right now. It is insane. I can't handle it. This is the sketch of the Anuvaris River. So we just need to find this spot, which seems to me like the end of the river. So I think we hit the end of the river and we probably have it. Oh my gosh. Folks, this is so good. Why are we so awesome right now? I can't handle it. Everybody, we're so, like, it really does. It looks like the end of the river. We head this way. Or the head of the river? I don't know. Thanks, PH. I'm, like, if it weren't for y'all, I will tell you, if it weren't for y'all, none of this would be happening. So I just because I am so happy for all of y'all's support in this process, because if it weren't for y'all, hold on. Here's the thing, gang. I don't think this is it. I think we need to be somewhere else. Yep. So that's not it. I think we are going to be looking at a different part of the river. Let's go. Where can we go? Let's go. Can we go? I need to travel somewhere. Oh, here's a travel point. The Stalish camp. All right, so I think this might be the big river, right? Because that was not. Let's save. Gang, we're gonna finish this. Let's look at our sketch of the Anavarus River. Someone died with this sketch of a river in his hands. A spot is marked on the water's edge. The question is this the big river? If it's the big river, then maybe we need to head... I saw some Hala, though. Didn't you see it? Big Elk Gate, right? We need a big Elk Gate. And I feel like the Elk Gate is going to live near the Dalish. So here's the river. I am not seeing... But look, there's a big elk. Hums the 48 song river. Look, here's a big Hala, right? There's one right here. Do we have one on the other side, though? Because it looks like we don't. It would be over there, and I don't see one. So I'm thinking this is not the big Elk Gate. So this is not that part of the river. What if we're talking about the big river? Do you know what I mean? The big river. And if we are correct in our facing, then I feel like we should probably head... Oh, I think we should head up along the big river, right? Oh, there's a song, Big River. I think maybe we need to head this way. I mean, it could be here, but I don't think so, because I don't think that we can get on the other end. So I think we should, like, is it all the way up here? Let's follow this river. That's what we're going to do. We're going to follow this river and see if we can... Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, so let's head north. I think that you're right, Jer. We're going to head north, and I'm going to get my horse back so that it is faster. And we're going to... Hello, horse. How are you? I hope you're doing well. We are going this way. We're going to follow the river and see if we can find this bit, because if we do, then we're superstars. Come on, horse. Now, I suppose the question is that Elk Gate, like, literal, or is it figurative?
Yeah.
Also, do you think it's at the end of the river, or do you think it's before the end of the river? Those are questions I don't have. So, yeah, I mean, I just have some follow-up questions. That's all. Alright, hey, river. What armor am I wearing? I am wearing... I will tell you. Inventory. I am wearing... Stone Stalker coat. I'm wearing the Stone Stalker coat, Ella. I don't think we can... Probably have to go around. Gang? So, Ella, in case you want to know, we have gone through all of the zones except for the Emerald Graves. That is the last thing we have to do, and it looks to me like we don't really have much left in the Inquisitor's path, except for dealing with the I think we have to deal with the Grey Wardens. I think that's so. Like, I think we're like really in end game space right now, which is very exciting. In case you wanted to know. All right, we're getting farther away from the river, but we're heading back towards it. Here we go. I don't think we missed it. The desolate bank. That sounds so happy. I'm really excited about finding this Hala gate. Hala bread. Also, you know, Happy New Year, everyone. For those celebrating the Jewish New Year. The final fate of capitalism. So, we are... Woo! I wonder if we will... Where are we at the map? Alright. You notice that we didn't really sort of check that out. Do you think that's bad? Do you think that's where it is? But I don't think that is actually really easily done. You know what, though? I think that's probably where it is. I think it's right over there. Don't you think? Maybe? Let's go back. Because I suspect, and if it's not there, we have a campsite here, so we can just jump. I think it's in that one spot. I think it's there. Because this is where things get close. And also the map itself is not completely revealed, so logically that seems to be where they would have placed it. I think this will be it for us. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, and it's further up the river, but, and it's not here. But it feels like it could be here. It feels like this is totally where it could be. Let's, I'm gonna dismount and explore a little bit, because... Ooh, Soggy Journal. The book is waterlogged. Most of the ink is faded. I've heard about some of the soldiers joining a new organization. Rebels fighting for freedom. There's always a cause, isn't there? I'm tired of causes. I'm gonna live for myself from now on. The world can go screw itself. I'm done with all of it. Sorry about that. I will take some of this loot, though. So, I just am telling you, I just feel like this sort of non-revealed part of the map just says to me... It just says to me, this is where you're looking for. And maybe it's not what we're looking for, but it feels like it. It really does. And if not, we will continue up the river. Because it really feels like this to me. Hello? Plants? Like, doesn't this look like... I mean, come on. Let's climb up here. If we can. If we can. I don't know if we can. But if we can... See, this looks not, like, very climbable. But this really looks to me... Really does. Maybe it's just wishful thinking. Maybe I just want... I mean, doesn't this look like an Explore-O-Rama sort of place? And Navoris. Here's our river. Okay. Heading towards the river. Maybe not. Maybe not. Let's see. Yeah, I'm heading towards the riverbed. Right, so here's this, like, big mountain kind of thing, the river, and there's this sort of, like, conceptual trees and Hala statues in the background, but I don't know... But we haven't revealed this part of the map, and so I feel like it could be here, or following up the map, it could... The problem with right here, though, is that we can't get access to it, right? And we're cut off here as well. And there's basically a wall there that doesn't let us go further than that. So we get stuck there. So I feel like on the map it might have to be here. And maybe I am wrong about that, which I am happy to be. But stroopwafels are excellent. I do love stroopwafels. Stroop waffles are really good. So the question is... And what do we actually... And we're looking for something on the riverbed itself, right? Nope. Journal. Right, we're looking for a kind of a place on the riverbed. High five, PH. So, it does seem as if what we're looking for... Whoop! Ouch. Ouch. Would be on this riverbed. Around here? Maybe? I just don't know if those Hala are symbolic or not. Because it's not, like, where is it? What is this called? What is the name of this quest? Search Sketch of the Enavuris River. Okay. Note it. Sketch of the Enavuris River. I think if I try to go here, I'm going to die. And I did. That was fine. So, gang, where do you think this is, like, what do you think about that? Here, hold on. Let's go. We went around here, didn't find it, doesn't seem to be there. The last we left off, we were here. So we'll go back there and continue traveling along that river. I don't know if that's the Enavuris. It feels like it probably is. Or if it is a different river. But let's go back to the river and see if we can find it. So here is a spot in our riverbed with no... We're heading north. We're following Jer, and we're heading north. Again, not... You just died. It was rude. Let's go around and move faster with our horse. Hello, horse. How are you? Yeah, if y'all have any thoughts on where we can find this last, what we're gonna do is no, actually, I think we have. I think we've gone all the way south, right? Also, south is tricky because if we head south, then the thing would be on the other side of the river, and I don't think we can get it. We can't get across the river. So I think that's going to be really tricky. But we will head all the way south and see what we can do. Because the problem is, if it were all the way south, then the thing we're looking for would be on the other side of the riverbank, and I don't think we can cross the riverbank. Apparently not. Apparently we are, like, super, like... We don't float. I think elves must have really dense bones that no one talks about. It's a weird thing, right? Walk on snow without leaving tracks, but, so, we do have this bridge, which maybe might allow us access to the other end of the river, but I didn't see us being able to get very far, so we're gonna keep going this way, and see... Right, and the problem is we're going to hit all the fade. It does. This is exactly what happens. All the fade makes them dense. So here's where we get to this problem, right? We hit this wall, and if I remember correctly, this wall, we can't really get past this wall. We're not really allowed past it. And when you try to get past it, you die. So that is not going to work out for us. We can try, since we opened up that bridge, we can try, yeah, no, I don't think we're supposed to get past there. We can try getting on the other side of the river and seeing if that will... Now, the big question is this the Enavuris River? It's a big, impressive river. We're going to try the other side and see if... the thing is, I actually traveled sort of south along here. I mean, we're just going to try it. We're going to see what we get. I just haven't seen a Hala statue. Hala Gate statue. I know. I'm a big, impressive river.
Yeah.
Alright, so here's our river. This is where we left off last time. Which sort of led to dying right there. Rude. I don't know if they'll let us across, but... See, this looks like an impassable spot that they will not let us pass there. So, it looks like we can just try... Yeah, this is really tricky. We can try... Mr. Sneakiness, how are you? It is nice to see you here. We are looking for the last thing we have to do in the Exalted Plains. We have this sketch of the Anuvaris River, which we see these two Hala... There's like this, like, the river, and like the Hala statues, and right down there is our secret thing that we're looking for, and we're trying to find it. Hello, Mr. Sneakiness. We are looking for that one place, which seems to be, welcome in, on this main river spot. But the question is, yeah, we're gonna try Graveyard. Graveyard? 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 Oh, the Vel Bellanaris. This graveyard down here is like on the other end of the here. Well, let's try on the other end. So we're gonna go south. We're gonna head all the way south and see if that will get us there. Mr. Sneakiness says head south to that graveyard. So that's what we're going to do. We will head the other direction and see if that will get us to our very last thing. There is our exciting river. And we hope we will get to our Hala statues. By the way, Mr. Sneakiness, I have a question for you. Your name is Mr. Sneakiness. So, does that mean that when you play RPGs, you play rogues? That's my question. 6 times... If you don't know, that would be sad. So... Where are we at? Oh, we're on that place. We don't want to be here. We want to head west. We'll go this way. Usually you play rogues. I'm playing a rogue right now. This is my first time. It's a blind playthrough. First time playing an archer rogue. Do you play archer? Do you play knives? Tell us your story. Also, your first playthrough. Were you a human? What was your race? Tell us something about your character, because that's always very interesting to me. Assassins. Yes, I'm also an assassin. Where are we at? That is not what I want. Go back. Headed this way. Oh, I think we're right there, right? Right, that's not what I want. I want west. They're made of hide. Oh, human female twin daggers. Nice. You know, I've not played with daggers. Is that never eat shredded wheat? Is that fun? Like, how does that work? And actually, since I am a rogue, I never have any of the dagger people in my party with me, so I don't do that either. So I actually have never played with twin daggers. I don't even know what it is like. Here we go.
Yeah.
I think we're on the right path. No, we're heading west. We're totally there right now. We're on our way. See, like, right here, river. We've got it. We're in the big river. There's a song called Big River, and I need to know who sings it. Was that Lyle Lovett? Who sang it? It's a country song. Big River. Alright, so here we are headed down this river. And let's see if this will take us to it. It's good, you like it?
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like maybe I should dismount. Because what if we don't notice the thing from here? So, guess what? We're gonna die right here. Yep. That was death. Where are we? Oh, we are so close. I think we have to actually enter through the graveyard. Is what it looks like. Although, I mean, I suppose I think the Hala maybe they are conceptual Hala. I think that's a possibility. It's possible. It is possible. By the way, Mr. Sneakiness, we have a Discord if you want to join us, where we geek out a lot about tabletop games, but also video games. On my Thursday stream, I am playing Gods Will Be Watching, so we're going to sort of think about that a bit, ponder it. We have a Discord, and you can give a follow if you like. If you don't, that's also fine. And you can hang out with us. Let's see. I'm looking for, well, we've got that grotto. Will the grotto send us to the other side? Maybe? I don't know if it will, but yeah, I think we've been down here, and I don't think that gave us... Unless, I mean, I wonder, we don't need that. That's fine. I wonder if the Hala statues are symbolic of... Yeah, so clearly it's not here. It's clearly outside, on the riverbed, but not where we were. 2 types of text depending on... Oh, that's cool. Because then you can have, different... Oop. Oh, hey, loot. Take it. Just gonna take a little bit of loot while we're here, even though it's super rude to my ancestors. It's fine. Little bit of grave robbing never hurt anyone, or it hurt everyone. Okay, so here's Bar Bellinaris. It looks like we can't... Well, here's a thing. Perhaps this will be our secret way in. Doesn't look like it. But, oh, we'll just take this Rashvine Nettle, because who doesn't want that? Everybody wants it. So I'm thinking that maybe those Hala statues are symbolic, right? If we think about them as symbolic, then we're not looking for an actual gate. Stabbing for single blade weapons, dual blade is circular. Oh. So look, gang, I feel like we should be around here. Maybe we're right up there? That looks like it could be it. That seems like it matches the painting a little bit, maybe? Let's see. Here's our journal. Here's the sketch of the river. Because we have to be on this side of the river. So I feel like that's it. I feel like that's it right there. That we're like right up there is where we're headed. It looks like that. I think this is our... I think we've got it. I think this is it, gang. I'm hoping. that we are right about here. If so, that's awesome. It looks like it. Yeah, right? Oh, yeah, we're here. This is it. Yes. Yes. We found it. We did it. Masterwork Scout Armor. Not as good as what we got, but it is great. Gang, we did it. Woohoo! Alright, we did it, everyone. It was awesome. Boom! Nice. You know what this means? This means we have done everything in this zone. We've done it. We're going to head back to Skyhold. This is amazing. Oh, did you really? Oh, Mr. Sneakiness, if you just started playing D&D, you should totally hang out with us, because we talk about tabletop games all the time, and we have, a lot of us here have a lot of experience playing and GMing, and we love to talk about it, and we give good advice. I run games, PH runs games, we run and play lots of different games, from D&D to Shadowrun, GURPS, like you name it, we do all sorts of things. And so you should totally hang out with us. And also, tell us if you're GMing or playing, and if you're playing, tell us about your character, because that's exciting. And we have in our Discord, we have channels just to talk about RPGs. Vampire, lots of vampire. Oh my gosh, so many games. So, Mr. Sneakiness, you should totally join us. Join us in our Discord and talk to us, hang out with us. Let us, as we're going to go to our Empress Celine. Oh, we know that news. It is excellent. Rogar, Dragonborn Barbarian. Nice. Have you just started? So are you level 1? Are you level 2 now? What are you all doing? Also, I just want to let you know that this is about the end of our stream day. We stream from, like, you know, ideally noon to 3. We started like at noon 30, so we're going to end at 3:30. So it's about time for us to go. Level 2. Early levels are so fun. Those are the days. Those are the days. So, gang, we just did... Oh, when we start next Saturday, I got my train tickets, and so I will be back on Saturday, and so I'll definitely be streaming Dragon Age Inquisition next Saturday, although I'll not be streaming Gods Will Be Watching on Thursday. But when we get back, we get to turn in all of our quests with all of our friends and talk to all of our people. It takes forever to level up. So we have a new point: history knowledge, exclusive training, connections. I don't even know about that. Let's see, secrets. We can get better cutting. We can get tier 1 herbs. Better cutting is probably not bad, but let's see forces. Training and proper weight distribution. Resistance to being unseated. Mage schematics. Many mages from all over Thetis have joined the Inquisition, hoping for some degree of order and protection. Reverse engineer their robes and staves will provide new rare schematics. Oh, I feel like schematics are probably good, right? And I think we need some warrior schematics. Let's do it. We're getting warrior schematics. And that's fine. We did that. Oh, sorry, that's not what I wanted to do. Oops! I want to send our people off on missions, and then close this. Oh, and then we're going to raid. Actually, Jer, Masterwork, Reinforced Pummel, Dwarven Mace, Guard Shield, Vanguard Armor. We'll check it out, see if it's good. Jer, if you're still here, I don't know if you are or not, but if you are, will you check to see what's going on with who's streaming right now? Because if Cheryl is streaming, I would love to... Let's accept that and gather more herbs.
Right.
If Cheryl is streaming, I would love to go and host a raid. That would be amazing. And let's just take all of that and send more people off there.
Inquisitor.
Which is great. I don't think we have any new missions right now. Like, we have to do this one here. Here Lies the Abyss. That's what we have to do. That's what we have to do. Oh, I don't know any War Table hacks. I don't, actually. I didn't know there was one. I didn't know it. What is it? Yeah, this is, like, we're here, right here. This is us. Here lies the abyss. That's gonna be our... Like, we're heading to the end, I think. I think we're really... I don't think I need to hack it. It seems like it's fine. And I think we have to do this Frostback. Investigate the Frostback Basin. We have to do that. And we have to do the Emerald Graves, and I think we're pretty much good. Oh, good! Is she still going? Okay. So, this is gonna be... Wait, we should save. We should save. So, I'm Trooper SJP, and this is the Academic Foxhole, where we play games and talk about them in deep, nerdy ways a lot. Give a follow. Join us in our Discord if you like. Join us on Thursdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but not this Thursday. Saturdays at noon. Thursdays are Mac Gaming, and Saturdays are Dragon Age Inquisition. It's PS4 gaming. And you got back for the end. It's true. But send out your 3 ambassadors, then adjust your time on... Oh, I see. Oh, I don't mind waiting, because I have to wait per week, so it's fine by me. But let's go and raid Cheryl, Muppet Aphrodite, and say hi. This is our raid command, by the way. I can put this in there, right? This is our raid command. Woo! That's our raid command. So that's it, and we should go and... this is what I'm going to do. I can host from over here, which I will do. We are going to host Muppet Aphrodite, who's an amazing streamer. She's great in all ways. And here's the thing. I need you all to represent me in the raid until I get over on my computer. Thank you. Because I have to, like, switch over to my other computer in order to sort of talk in the chat. So I'm going to host. Everybody start the raid, and I'm going to jump over there as quickly as possible. So, thank you for being here for the stream. I will see you next Saturday, because I won't be streaming on Thursday, unless I am, but that'll be different. And represent me while I jump over there. Thank you for being here, and I will see you on the Discord. I will see you around, and then I will see you right now in our raid. So, thank you, everybody, and I will see you on the flip side over on the raid. Thanks, everyone.